Hey there, Silver-Tongued Devil here, and I am back from a little break away. We are back on Ghost Signal, a Stellaris game. We are going to carry on doing a couple of runs tonight. All those tips, all those tricks, as you've come to expect. Tonight we're going to be playing in the bog standard ship, line the Aurora, and then we'll be on to my personal favourite with a little bit of meta progression, the Iris. So we'll go for a run with this one. My intentions are to complete this game front to back in the minimum amount of runs. So yeah, we'll see how well that goes. So what we are going to have to do is notch things up to the next threat level. So for those who haven't seen any episodes of this, this is a roguelike RTS, I suppose. We go through runs, repeating almost in like cycle play, repeating the same things, but it is all randomly generated with new stuff being added and new stuff being taken away. These modifiers are what keeps run to run a little bit more interesting, making things a little bit more easier or a little bit more, well, always a little bit more difficult for ourselves, and that's what progresses the story and also increases your meta progression. So we're going to do, my advice if you are at this stage of the game is concentrate on this lot of bars first. Then you probably want to move on to these ones, and we want to do these ones last. These are the ones that have a big effect on your run. These ones do have a small effect on your run that does build up in increments, but at least it's manageable, or so he says. Let's carry on, shall we? A run should take, if I don't talk so much, about half an hour. So for me, times that's by 4. No, a run should take about hour and a half, I think. And for me, I'm finding that with the streams that we've done so far, and with me kind of flying through an intro as we've just done, we'll keep things yeah. Thanks, K2! She knows the score. Shields off of him. So, fairly standard stuff in this sort of game. Yes, no, it is. I mean, I suppose the other thing as well, Rosal, is I'm very familiar with this game, so I might not be a good example of the sort of time, and I'm also going to do quite a lot of explaining a lot of my choices and explaining that sort of stuff along the way. For those who don't know, we have blasters, they're good at hull. We have lasers, that's good for shields. We have missiles, that's good for everything but limited. Do not base your run on missiles, because so of these two, anti-laser plating will make sure that our shields last a little bit longer, because we'll reduce the enemy laser damage. Their weapons work that way around as well. So if it does more damage, if we do more damage to shields with lasers, so do they, and vice versa. We'll go with something that actually increases our damage output as opposed to increase our defense. I always play these games that way. You can play tanky, but it never really suits these sort of games, especially where your shields recharge after every level, after every fight that you go into or event that you go into, but any damage done to your hull is permanent unless upgraded. So we don't want to be playing a game where we're taking any damage to our hull, and so we want to be putting the damage out onto the enemies as much and as quickly as possible. And Rosal has also mentioned a game that I want to try and make a point of getting back into, because I've kind of started playing this one again. Eternal Starlight is another one that I want to start doing some runs on. I wish the other ships in your armada, when you make them, I wish I could name them, because then I would make all of you lot in my game Unfortunately, that is not a thing. I haven't checked the PC VR version for that. It might be a thing. I doubt it. Haha! Ooh. And for those of you who are paying attention, you may have seen that there is a very big asteroid. Some would say almost as big as my own head when I'm giving all those tips and tricks and showing you the way. And you'd be right. And as I always like to show off in these streams, because I haven't been able to do or got round to a tips and tricks video with this one, and I don't think it would suit the old shorts format anyway, because there's just too much to go on about. And ego, yes, quite too much to go on about. And that small letterbox thing mode was part of the reason why I never really played this on stream back in the day, when we used to have like a small screen here and then 1/3 of the screen being taken up by chat. But now that we have this glorious wide-o-vision, I guess you would call it, now that we have this glorious wide-o-vision, then it is now a thing. So these ones scan. Normally when you scan asteroids, they will light up if they contain scrap. Scrap being the currency of the game that allows you to do your upgrades and your purchases. Note, we scan this big asteroid, nothing. But if we blow it up, and it does take some blowing up, if we now scan it, you'll see that some of these ones actually contain scrap. And I've seen this mentioned nowhere. So that's 17, and we'll go and get that one as well. 17. 17 plus 8. 25 scrap there. If you didn't know that, you would have missed out. And you do get quite a few of these big asteroids in some runs. So it is always worth knowing and noting. And again, the tips and tricks side of things is a little lacking on this game from anybody at the moment. I suppose the closest you've got is my live streams. Always use your laser for destroying the rock, because there is an upgrade later on. There's an upgrade later on, which basically means you get a better yield. A better yield of scrap from these asteroids. Unfortunately, I don't have any surprise keys to give out tonight. I'll disappoint you all now. Now, as far as your choices are concerned, we don't have a lot of cash, so a merchant visit wouldn't be a bad shout. You'll get choices of things to purchase, and they're worthwhile going for, especially with some of the meta progression in the game. You can make it so one item is ridiculously cheap. You can also make it so that you can recycle that for more than you've bought it, so this can be a positive transaction monetary wise. Problem is, there's a mystery event afterwards. I hate mystery events in this game. A lot of them entail you to gamble, and because it's a game, I like to gamble in games, and I get that streamer luck, and it never goes my way. I would prefer to go for guarantees. Space creatures are good, we'll talk about those later. These elite battles are difficult battles, but you get a reward at the end of them. And this one with a P means we'll get 2 rewards at the end of this one, provided we complete it. This P denotes that a player died there. This isn't a multiplayer game. It's like Light Brigade and Dark Souls and various bits and pieces like that. Asynchronous multiplayer, I think it's referred to as. I think. I want to stay on top of things. You'll see that things are starting to get, straight from the get-go, a bit tougher. Enemies are on us fast. they have more health. They have more... Oh... They have more going on, and they're capable of doing more to us as well. Let's fly lazily and listily to the left. This guy's got some maneuvers. Right. We're going to save our missiles for those elite battles that we've got coming up next, because they are going to be nasty. Another tip that I like to show off on this one: pressing the navigation button to bring your navigation array up, which allows you to plot your points, puts the game into slow time. If you use the other button to do that, it frees up your shoot button, which then means that you can absolutely dump all of your shots into an enemy very, very quickly. So instead of using the navigation button A on this side to navigate and plot your points, you do the other one, which then means that you have to plot your points with the other trigger, which then frees up your shooty trigger. All technical terminology, this. And I know I say these things in every stream, but they're quick and simple and can really help your gameplay. Always zoom back out as well and have a good scan of these asteroid belts to make sure that you are not missing out on anything. And elite battle. This may be our first death. Probably should have upgraded something. This is where we use our missiles, try and even the odds a little bit. And we're going to do a lot of brave Sir Robining. For those who are not aware, that does indeed mean running away. These ships we want to deal with as quickly as possible. Main reason being is they will continually spawn enemies. We don't like that. Oh, come on. Still unable to get him. Yeah, got him. Lovely. That's good. That's a good start. Because it's those during elite battles that will get you every time. The other thing that you need to watch out for as well is a lot of the enemy spacecraft in this game have a shockwave. You need to be a lot further away from everything. Always further away than you think in this game. Always further away than you think. Otherwise, you'll take damage. You see that I'm doing my best to switch between laser to take off their shields and then gun. And then gun to finish them up. Yeah, and I do keep promising. I'll actually do it one day. Do keep promising that I will play this game. You're not going to hit, are you? Might do. Ooh. Do keep promising to play this game with the touch, with the hand tracking and hand gesture controls that it does have support for. I never end up getting round to it. Still think the old hand gesturing things on a lot of games is a bit of a gimmick. It does work in this, and apparently it works well. The problem that I find with hand gesturing, I don't know about you lot or not, is for games that support both, hand gesturing always feels a lot more underpowered than using controllers, and I like controllers. Grown up on them. So this is an easier choice than you would first think. Heavy missiles, again, I try and stay away from any upgrade that's to do with missiles, except on the Iris. And even on the Iris, the third of the 3 ships, I would probably avoid it. We'll go with something like this. There is always going to be a time when enemies are close to us. This will do us then 10% more damage for all of our weaponry. That can only be a good thing. Now, although our ship isn't necessarily designed for close range firepower, it's still not a bad upgrade. We can just get them close and give them the good news. Because we're not going to concentrate on this, we're probably going to push into the laser side of things a little bit. We've got plenty of cash to play with. Increasing all of our damage by 10% when things get close, though, that's actually more tempting. Although, yeah. Keeping things at distance and using your laser, which is, although it's supposed to be for shields, you can use it for both. How many have we got? 1, 2. I think we've got enough. Let's get that fully upgraded. Might regret that, but this could be a particularly bad and tough battle up next. We shall see. To me, there's the remnants of the last person. Oh, looks like he was playing as the Iris too. There's always Iris players dead that I see. Is easily the best ship in the game, but everyone seems to get wrecked by it on it. So I'm hoping if we get this run complete, we'll go with a run on the Iris next. My personal favourite as far as ships are concerned. As I have said previous, just because it is 4 shields doesn't mean you can't use it on the hull. It just doesn't do as much damage. But still does good damage. A safe bet in this game, if you don't know what decisions to make as far as weaponry is concerned, push it all into lasers. Lasers, the be-all and end-all of it is lasers you can use at long range. The further you are away from them, the farther you are from harm. And if you can constantly be retreating from them and doing damage over time, you'll win eventually. The only time that that isn't true is when you are up against enemies that keep on spawning, keep on respawning, and that's why I hate them so. Interestingly, if we do some fancy flying, we can get these guys to hit each other. Although, I don't think my flying is going to be that fancy tonight. With these ones that their whole plan is ram the guy, you've just got to keep moving. Again, another key point to this game is just keep plotting points and make sure your ship is moving all the time. And a lot of the time, in that circumstance, you can't be hit. We do have a little boost drive engine-y thing. Ooh, big boy. Which is that yellow bar that you can see there slowly filling up. And that's for this ship as a little boost jet, which just basically boosts you faster along your waypoints. Let's get a couple of missiles off on this guy, because this guy could do us some serious damage. As can his ships. I'm going to use said boost to get close. Finish that carrier off. Finish those boys off and get the hell out of there. See how much damage that did to my shields? How far away that thing was, and it still took about 1/5 of my shields. This is why you stay away from all things that explode, especially the fighters. So we get 2 ones for this one. This is good. We're pushing into lasers. This, not so much. This basically increases the effectiveness of repairs. Well, if we're not taking hull damage, we're not going to need to repair. If we don't need to repair, this is useless to us. We'll have a laser reloader, though. Basically means that our laser reloads reload time faster. So basically, after we've expended that bar that goes around the outside, it'll charge back up quicker. Just more DPS. And then this is the remains of a player. Oh no, it's not an iris. It's the same as us. It's an aurora. And we will take whatever it is. We'll get basically one of the items that he died with for free. Hull repairer. Cheers, whoever you were. This one's a little bit different. This repairs hull to a minimum threshold upon entering new sectors. So we will always be at 15% hull, 30% or 45%. This is actually really good if you find yourself sucking at the game. Any more? I just got done watching Alien Romulus as well. I won't spoil anything, but I really enjoyed it. Thought it was very good. I don't know how it's going to be viewed. Anyone else managed to watch that one yet? No spoilers if you have, though, obviously. Yeah, I was a fan. Ooh. Is this an elite battle or is this a normal one? I never can remember. My memory is shocking. Let's... Ooh, that's a missile ship, I think. Yes, it is. So, we've just got to be extremely careful with how we use our shooting and not get too close to this one. These ones will just basically continue to fire missiles at us. Missiles are slow moving, but do a heck of a lot of damage. If we get too close to this one, he'll target us with his lasers. We just need to make sure, the easiest way I find to deal with them, keep them at distance, keep shooting them with your lasers, and then make sure you've got your guns to switch to, which will be a full ammunition to deal with the missiles.
Hyperlanes ready for travel.
Lovely. And we will keep hold of our cash. We've got an elite battle. We've got a weapons trader coming up. I want to try and save this so we can get a decent amount of things from this. The other option is to go for the space creature, which then would allow us to do an upgrade, which... yeah, why not? Let's live a little. These ones aren't great to upgrade, but we are pushing into our laser fairly heavily, so it's not a bad shout. And we have got a particularly tough battle coming up next. So... is that even working? Assume it is. Yeah. Right. What next? We can... the other thing as well is with components that you get that you don't rate or do find useful, you'll see that meta progression wise now, I'm trying to centralize that a bit. Meta progression wise now, not only would you get some scrap back for recycling those, we also repair some of our hull. So you can keep hold of these ones that you deem useless or not that great, and then get rid of them at key times, especially when you've got the meta progression to get the repairs. Use it so that you can repair yourself and need the scrap. Don't do one or the other. Try and do both. I think we're good here. Another elite battle. Have we got any missiles? Probably not. Never have any missiles. That is going to be a big boy. Oh, we've got one missile. It's better than none. think that's the missile type. Yes, it is. We do want to try and concentrate our firepower on the big boy. His friends are absolutely nailing him, which is good news for us. Friends like these. In fact, let's see if we can make use of that. Oh well, never mind, we got him. Have that. And slow time, switch to guns, and then you can fire a lot faster when you're doing it in slow motion. A lot faster. And this guy, just to play it safe, we can outmaneuver him just by making sure we do some decent waypointage, but he is... we can put him far enough away from us that he can't really hit us with a ram anyway. Oh, I think we got a missile back there. Yes, we did. Now, this one's a carrier class. We need to take this one down as quickly as possible. We also need to stay away enough so that we don't get hit by that shockwave again, which we did. And a lot of the time, because of how badly those carriers can ruin your shit, you're best off just foregoing like, look at this swarm. It's ridiculous. But you are better off just foregoing attacking anything else. You need to get out. And just concentrating on those carriers, otherwise they'll get you eventually, just with the sheer amount of ships that they spit out. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. That was close. That was close. A lot closer than it looked. Ah, blaster range. This is a good one. Probability drive is good if you then get the power-ups afterwards to make it worthwhile. This one increases the percentage chance things going off. So some of the rubbisher upgrades in the game do a rubbish because they have a low percentage chance. If you can increase that percentage chance going off, even by as 15, like say, what's a good sum? 10%, increasing that by an additional 75% will give you an extra 7.5% chance of the 10% chance thing going off. Or something in that region. It's good if you've got lots of things and you can get it fully upgraded. However, increasing our blaster range is really good. I know we're not concentrating on blasters in this run, we're kind of concentrating on lasers again, but any good, so we're trying to keep everything at arm's length in this game anyway. If we can make it so that we can do that with both our primary weapon systems, well, that's a very, very good thing. We're going to do what we'll do. Let's try. This is why you try to stay away from these missile ships, because they've got decent cannons which have a pretty good chance of hitting you. There we go. Good stuff. So as I was saying at the start of the stream, just got back from a little breakaway, hence why we didn't have the live stream on the normal schedule. Don't worry, the battery's recharged. It won't be happening again for a long time. I always try to avoid going to too many space creatures. The reason being is if you encounter the same space creature over and over again, which in one of the streams we encountered the same one 3 times, you get the money, but you don't get the rewards. You can get the rewards by knowing which reward it is and selling it before you scan it, which I'm hoping to demonstrate at some point during a stream, because I always bang on about it. It makes that fact alone makes space creatures not too bad, but I suppose the problem with space creatures is they can be particularly tough battles, and a lot of the space creature weaponry and upgrades aren't that good. They're either amazing or rubbish, and there's more rubbish ones than there are amazing ones. God, are you going to give up? Yes, I had a great time. Come on. I got absolutely... There was a massive... Well, by our standards in England, anyway, it's a massive outdoor water pool that my kids were massively infatuated with during our entire time there. Me and my brother also had a lot of fun. I got particularly carried away with the white water rapids, but a slide, and it goes outdoors. So it's like one big slide that loads of people can go down at a time, and there's a current to it all as well. And what I didn't realise is as you are going up and over things and over these little bumps and bits and pieces, like it's a smooth slide, but you have to amble over things. As I was going over all these things and, you know, horsing around as you do in those sort of situations with your kids and my brother, I was completely battering, bruising and tearing my little frail body apart. So
we are learning more and more.
What was this one? It's been a while. Stun Blaster. You do, with some of these, even when you collect the rewards, need to keep moving because things will still help you. This one's actually pretty good for a blaster build. Our blasters now have a very small chance of stunning things per hit. The beauty of it is per salvo we fire, we're likely to get a stun at any percentage, really. But yeah, most of the time, the problem with that kind of theme park ride, or not theme park, that kind of water park feature is you don't realize that you're destroying yourself until the next day. I didn't even have a bruise on me. I just felt like I was bleeding internally all the time. Nope. Now, this part is you want to save 100. There's always something that you can buy here. 2 of them are a little bit oh shit scenarios. One's a repair. If you're taking damage, then you are in a little bit of an oh shit scenario. You should always be making use of your shield, but never your hull, if you can play the game. If you keep moving, you can do it reasonably easy. You've got this one as well that allows you to get rid of defects. That will come more into its own later when we start the game with defects, but we're not there yet. This one. Losing 100 for an extra missile capacity is a good deal. However, the problem is you don't want to build into that because missiles are a finite resource. It's only 100 though, so it's at least reasonably cheap. It basically means that for those incredibly tough battles, like this one, you've just got more resources to fire off. So I can get a couple of missiles off there. That should be enough to destroy one of those modules. And then we'll use another one. I think it's that one's the other nasty one. Definitely, yeah, it is. Ugh. Those are gonna hurt. should have gone for the module that we've taken the shields off of now first. Reason being, because it spawns fighters. Lovely. We've got two pretty bad modules here, if I'm honest. And get rid of that. I'll not lose my shields. Got to concentrate on those mines because they will absolutely wreck you over time. The beauty of this one is you've got time to deal with the shit that it spits out. So this is a relatively easy fight now because we've taken those ones out. As I said, I should have dealt with this fighter one first. He'll probably get one lot of mines over. They stick around for a little bit and then they home in on you. Nasty, nasty bloody stuff. But thankfully that is the end of him. What's that on there? Oh, it was a star.
Not so tough without any backup.
Even if we did take some damage on that one, you get healed, you get hull replenishment at the end of every boss anyway. So let's see what we got. Missile guidance system or shield breaker. So increase rocket speed, decrease lock-on time. Again, I always try and avoid missile ones. They're a limited resource. You will find that when you start using them, you then won't have any for quite some time. And so this increases your damage, but over time, or DPS, it reduces it, I find. Increase bullet damage against enemy shields. You're not supposed to fire your blasters against enemy shields, but it does happen. And if you do more damage because of it, that's never a bad thing. Into the next sector before we think about spending any of our money, because I want to see what is ahead before we start doing anything. Now, if this is the same monster that we get the stun blaster from, we could recycle this before we scan the monster and get it again. So that is a way to try and get something out of it. We have to go for it, and we're going to go this way afterwards. This basically means that we're not going to be shopping for a while, so we might as well upgrade what we have. I'm going to put a little bit into range, and then that's all she wrote. But yeah, the place that we went to, it's a different one. The place that we went to has is boundless with nature. A place in England called Centre Parks. I believe they have one, or they have a bigger one in France that's tied to the Disneyland side of things. And I know what some of you may be thinking if you do live in England. Ooh, Centre Parks! How hoity-toity, how rich and flash. No, it was a gift. It was a very generous gift. So we basically had our way paid for there. Still spent an obscene amount of money there, though, because it is quite expensive. So the Space Dragon basically gives us some choices. We can restore our hull completely, not needed. We can get a dragon's egg, which basically gives us a follower, which aren't too bad. Or we can get a bunch of scrap and a little bit of meta progression, or quite a lot of meta progression. And I am now starting to think of this in the long game. I'm going to try and complete this in as fewer runs as possible. So for that, we need as much meta progression as we can get our grubby little mitts on, and this will help us. Plus, I think we've seen me take the dragon's egg as well. So let's go for that one, get some of that meta progression and some more cash to spend on juicy upgrades. Let's make it so that our stun blaster doubles its chance of stunning per shot. and move along to an elite battle. But yeah, the kids were taking a tally of all the things that they saw. They saw 1 deer, I think it was 24 squirrels, 3 rabbits, and well, it was technically 2 deer, but one of them the kids didn't see on the ride home, shall we say. I think it would have devastated them. Although my brother was driving at the time, and both me and my brother went, well, that's 2 deers. And whilst we were there, we did some fencing, and we did some archery as well. Did some... well, it wasn't target archery, it was classed as field archery, where you're shooting at big shapes of animals, and they're proper like plastic. No, not plastic. What would they be? Not like a lot harder than ballistics gel, obviously. But the whole idea is you are shooting against things that are more lifelike than just a target. That was a lot of fun. Me, my brother, and our eldest had a great time doing that. Oh, would you die? There we go. Ha! Elite. Ha! Have we got any missiles? No, of course we haven't. See, it still does damage, but as you can see, it does it very slowly. So, we probably want to zap this guy first. We in range of cannons to finish that one off soon. Let's try and close. Try and dump all of them. Lovely. Will this one give birth? Nope. Sometimes those big ships have a chance. Oh, my arm's going. Those big ships have a chance to create a smaller, the tinier version of themselves. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Ah, stunned. Ha! We might, even though we're pushing lasers, we might try and lean into that stun effect. These are the smaller versions that big ship can give birth to. Very Vorlon looking. And although even the big version isn't that much of a threat, as long as you can deal with its missiles, the little versions aren't a threat either. But if you get enough of them, you can have quite the swarm of missiles coming in at you, and they can be a pain in the arse to deal with. I would always try and use your lasers for dealing with missiles, because the beauty of lasers is you can't miss. They lock on once you have them targeted. Although the lasers don't do as much damage. So basically, the missiles you want to try and laser at distance, that's the safest. Because those missiles, 1 or 2 of them, can do a fuck ton of damage. That's a lot, by the way. Let's go and get that. Ooh. So when we were doing meta progression last time, we started putting points into the ability to have an item drop to us at a higher starting level. And I think I've got it to a 30% chance of us getting a level 2. This increases the collision damage received by 25%, and our ship movement speed is increased by 20%. So it's already at level 2. Now, I would prefer the shield booster, because I've already said that shields in this game recharge between sectors, whereas hull doesn't. You have more of this, you can take more damage per sector before it starts eating into your hull. However, I am also thinking of the long game. increasing your speed for any of the ships is actually really good. This starting off at level 10% at level 1 isn't that great. Starting off at 20% is brilliant. And worst case scenario, if I really didn't like this, it is better to take the level 2 and definitely the level 3 in a lot of situations because of the amount that you can sell it for. Remember, this cost us nothing and we can get almost a full upgrade's worth out of it for something else. So, now what we like on the old shops. We haven't got any shops approaching for quite some time. At least another 3 sectors. So I'd say it's safe for us to upgrade something. And we will go with... That's doing a good job. So increasing the range of it first, because it's already doing a good job. Increasing the range of it is not a bad shout. It also means that we can put more stock in this whole keeping everything at arm's length and whittling it down gameplay that the Aurora is actually really good for. We want to avoid these. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. More often than not, there's a gamble involved, and I can't help myself, especially when I'm streaming. In gambling, that is. The one thing that I will say of those event things is they're the sort of things where you can make or break a run. And I would much rather go with a run-of-the-mill, simple to complete level, where I'm definitely going to get at least some resources. Haha, stunned. Now, I would much rather increase our chances by a little bit to complete the run overall than a slight chance to make the game a walkover. Because if the game doesn't become a walkover, you're dead. A lot of times. The things that can happen to you can be that catastrophic. Alright, let's go and harvest these resources. Get into, if you do get into this game and you're playing it, get into the habit of scooping up the resources as soon as they appear, if you can. The reason being is there is a defect later, which basically means it's basically a negative, a bad. What are these? A bad ship component. There's one that comes in later, which basically makes those things have a shelf life when they spawn on the level. It's called radiation leak, and it's a shelf life of like 3 seconds. It's horrible. It's the one that I hate the most. And it's only because you're missing out on resources. Right, lasers for you. Get those shields stripped. Now that we've got some decent range, and he's stunned now, so we'll go back to lasers whilst we reload our cannons, and then hopefully finish him off before he can complete his jumps, which we did. Lovely stuff. Always concentrate on your fast movers first and foremost. They're the ones that will close the distance and start doing damage. You can move away from the slow movers. Slow movers do usually have things like rockets and such, but they're reasonably easy to deal with. Got decent strength lasers. And now that we've dealt with those fast movers, we'll head back in.
Threats terminated.
Lovely stuff. So we're getting to the point now where our lasers are, or our blasters are almost as long range as our lasers, which is always a good place to be in. Hello, Clueless. How we doing? We get the stun. No. Definitely have to stay on top of the mines of that ship type. Come on, stun. He's not stunning. Reasonably easy to deal with, that ship, but combination with everything else, it can make an absolute nightmare to manage. But as I've said before, with this game as a general rule, always be heading away from your opponent and always be moving. I know I'm doing a terrible job at that at the moment, but we've got reasonably powerful weaponry for these guys, and it's all recharging very fast as well, which is always a good thing. You never want to be shy. Oh, there they are. Never want to be shy of energy or ammunition. And again, look at that. So we've played, what's that now? Probably about a good 8 sectors. I haven't used any missiles, and I haven't been given any missiles. And this is part of the reason why I don't like playing into the strengths of missiles, because they're just, you never have them when you need them. A weapon trader might not be a bad shout at the moment, because there's a particular upgrade that I'd be after. We would lose out on an elite battle, and there's a reasonably good chance that that could be a level 2. I'm not going to go this way because we may encounter the same space creature again. And thank you, Vaughn. We don't really have a lot of money. We'll take it. We'll choose after this one. Oh, 1 hour playtime. I'm on schedule. 4-hour stream, 2 complete runs, hopefully. Let's close the distance on these boys. Finish 1/2 of this ship off, and then get away, because that guy will follow. And now we've got his shields down. Give him the full complement. Good night, Vienna. There shall be no encore. So tell me, Vaughn, because I keep seeing you mentioning it and playing these meta worlds. Anything particularly good? Anything that you've come across that you like the look of? Rather, anything that you've come across that I will like the look of and should be playing? Because I assume that a lot of this meta world stuff is very... I assume it's all quite casual? I do mean to keep on having a look at it. It keeps on being thrown in my face on the bloody menus all the fucking time. I hate to bow to that sort of pressure advertisement, but got to eventually. 225 is enough. Have we got anything that we could sell? Yes, we do. Is there now? I do like PvP, but it depends. I tell you what, let's try and make the stream a little bit more interesting than what I usually go for, because normally it'd be an elite battle and then we would get choices. Let's hope we get something worthy of a weapon trader. And I can also bang on about how you do the meta progression on this game as well. Or at least the way I always do it. Yes, we have loads of scrap for trade. Again, remember to check these rocks. I have had it on stream where one of these actually contained resources. Standard stuff. Always take the 60% off weapon. Doesn't matter if it's good, doesn't matter if it's bad, doesn't matter if you like it or not. Always take it, because buying it for 40, even without any meta progression, you can sell it for more than you bought it for. Bought it for 40, sell it for 55. That's a good transaction. Interesting. Now, we don't need both of these. Volatile laser is the volatile upgrades or add-ons or ship components, probably some of the best in the game, if you ask me. The missile ones, not so much. Makes them more blast radius. Missiles are already pretty good in this game, I think. Leaning into and so foregoing upgrading and getting ship components that would help you all the time, or making something that is already powerful a little bit more powerful, should be an obvious choice, but I do like to bang on about it because maybe it isn't for everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some time having a look at it. I've got some projects on with Dungeons of Eternity. They're hard at work for the new stuff. Think it's gonna be a while though. Really looking forward to Aliens coming out, having just watched that Romulus. See if we can deal with both of these in fairly short order. You need to destroy those before they can connect back together again. Let's deal with his cronies first. There. Thank you. How you do fire missiles? A lot of ships in this game as well. If you can... yeah, Behemoth will be a good one. If you can get far enough away from a lot of them, it usually ruins their attack patterns. Let's see if we can finish one off. And they kind of just drift off in a different direction and don't go after you quite as harshly. And especially ones with blasters, you'll see that our speed is meaning that most of the shots that he's firing aren't even hitting us. Because then we're too fast. We're too quick. Again, deal with the little ones. That was the explosion from his mate that killed him, not me. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to find some more games to play. Is everyone kind of done on Zero Caliber yet, or is there still life in that old girl now? I'd say old girl, it's only just come out, hasn't it? Hey look, it gave birth! I told you it happened! We got a missile from the birth as well. Yeah, I haven't even touched Zero Caliber. I'll be honest with you, I look at Zero Caliber, and if it had mercenary mode from Onward in it, I would be all over that game. But I kind of feel like I've already done Zero Caliber once. And I'm all for playing campaign missions and stuff, but, you know. Yeah. No. The other one that I do need to play, and I can get a key for as well if we did a live stream, is Guardians. And I have been playing a lot of Starship Troopers Terran Command. It's a real-time strategy game. I've been playing a lot of that recently. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I might just wait, because it'll come down cheap. or wait until they're doing some sort of advertisement campaign and snag myself a free copy at the same time as getting you lot some. Could be a thing. Yeah. As I said, it was just, there were some little things that put me off on Guardians. It might have just been between me and John then, I don't know. But as I said previously, we had a lot of problems trying to find each other's runes and getting in the same lobbies. But apparently no one else did. It was just me and John that didn't get it. Must have been. So, but it's a lot better now, or so I hear. And there's a bow in it, so there's always that. It does surprise me how quickly I have been able to stop playing in Death Unchained and not be tempted to go back. It might be a John thing. I don't know. I seem to be struggling as much as John was, so... Might be an us thing. Might be a both of us thing. Oh, you can have a missile seeing some... Oh, no, you can't. You can have lasers instead. And slow time. And lasers.
No more incoming waves detected.
Probably best, Von. Probably best. And we're at full missiles. After about 12 bloody sectors. Anything? Again, as I say, it's always worth taking a bit of a step back from the arena and having a scan around. The devs, or the game designers, or what level designers of this game, can put, from where you start, they can put asteroids around your periphery that have, or peripheral vision, that have resources in them. Cheeky boys and girls. Isn't that PvPvE though? I thought you girls would hate that. Or I thought you would. At the very least. We will have an extra missile. It's only... again, I don't even think I ever really need this. It's always nice to have more missile capacity, because then I feel that they go a little bit further. But... it isn't essential, and it does give me an extra missile for the boss as well, which is always a nice thing. Now, what were we talking about last time? They both spawn things, but that one seems to do it more so. Yeah, I think it's PvPvE always, isn't it? If Astro Hunters is the one that I'm thinking of, it's Rust, but in space for VR, if I remember rightly. So another thing to note with anything that you're going to fire your full complement of missiles at, holding down and then holding the button down after you've locked on is quicker than firing individual shots. Oh, this boss is getting slain! Bye-bye! And we fly as far away in a straight line as possible from the bloody thing. And then when he dives at us, then we take a sharp bank and use your boosters if you have them. As I say every stream, that husk has killed me so many times. It looks so easy to get out of the way of as well, but let me tell you that that hitbox is fucking huge. Uh-oh. Right. Huh? Can I have my things, please? Oh, there they are. We had this choice last time. Chance of restoring ship shields by 50% if depleted. This is where that probability drive can come in. 75% chance on top of a 75% chance. I think that would give you a further 20% on top. So it would almost be every time. But then you've got to upgrade the probability drive to top level and this to top level. And even then it only gives you 50% of your shields back. You shouldn't be using that much shields. Zealous Force is again not another good one. Chance of generating an impenetrable force field lasting 5 seconds when an enemy is destroyed. We are going to be destroying a lot of enemies, but again, things that are finite and don't last very long, you don't want to be basing your overall strategy on it. But this is the better of the two, so we'll take it. Hang on. Hello, Saka. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, go for it, dude. I probably have. I usually have played things. Ooh. Hang on a second. Is this an encounter or is this a trader? There we go. Oh, it was a trader. Ooh. Ooh. Hello, boys. Yeah, isn't it just? Blood magic. So good. So good. I am going to do another stream of that. I think last time I was showing off blood magic. Just when you have the ability to do it, when you get the Devil's Trigger. That's such a good name for the best spells, best ability, the Devil's Trigger. If only it had been the Silver Devil's Trigger. Anyway, being able to summon the blood balls and then just drop them on the floor and then push into blood ghosts. And the other thing that I haven't mentioned a lot of the time when I was going back over my videos for Hellsweeper, one of the things that I didn't really right. Oh no, it is available as a standard eventually. That's what Devil's Trigger does. Devil's Trigger allows you to just cast blood magic as opposed to having to pick up blood crystals or crush limbs. You can just cast it, but you only get that when you get blood, or I think you get the ability to assign that to you when you have blood magic to top level. However, you can get Devil's Trigger before top level. I had it when we were on the PC VR version. Oh, it's so good. It is so... Blood magic is great. And it's not just turns the game into easy mode. It also is probably the most efficient way to play the game as well, because A, it's bloody easy, and B, the amount of style that you can rack up out of blood magic is ridiculous. Blood hosts are great, but I'm beginning to think that blood ghosts are even better. Sorry, not blood hosts, evil hosts. Anyway, so we're always going to buy this, and this is great for us because we've got longer range weaponry as well. We're always going to buy that. Volatile blasters or lasers are really good. And then hull piercer, increased laser damage against hull. That's worth going for as well, because we do find ourselves shooting the hull occasionally with our lasers. And sorry, Saka, I didn't see what game. Oh, so would you rate Homeworld? Because I keep looking at it and thinking, yeah, but it's a one and done, isn't it? I love, don't get me wrong, Saka, I love the Homeworld franchise. I think I have now played all the Homeworld games except Homeworld. I know it's on Quest 3. I did try to reach out to the developers as well to try and snag a free copy to show off. And I always get wary when they either don't respond or say no. And it makes me think, like, how confident in your game can you be then if you don't want people to show it off? Or it might just be, fuck that guy. We're not wasting 22 quid's worth of sales. Yeah, Eternal Starlight is great. This is just different. I think Eternal Starlight, I really like the kind of infinite roguelike mode on that, where you get to start off as different ships from different races and build your armada. The audio commands I've never really used. Would you believe me? Really? Interesting. See, the thing is, though, part of Eternal Starlight for me is the upgrading and armaments of your ships. That's probably the thing that I enjoy the most out of it. I'm starting to find myself drawn to a lot of things that people would probably consider roguelike features or elements of games. Eternal Starlight is very good, though, Saka. Let's go. Oh no, Homeworld is definitely Quest 3 native. I wouldn't be talking about it if it was only PC VR. Although, again, a good Homeworld game is the sort of thing. Now, give me Homeworld Fast Reaches, put a little roguelike mode in like they did with Homeworld 3, so that all my concern with a decent RTS is you can spend a lot of time. Oh shit, these guys are going to be fast. You can spend a lot of time getting good at a good RTS game, and then it's over. And it's almost like, why did I spend all that time getting good at a game, and now all I have to do is the same thing over and over again? If I get good at a game, I want longevity out of it. I want a lot of play out of it. I mean, like, as a basic, even like, ignore me on the roguelike mode, but I think that really suits those style of games. Ignore me on the roguelike mode, but it should at least have a skirmish mode. You know, where you can set up titanic battles and go up against silly odds. Or like, oh, that's our shield's gone. That's the first time that's happened. I think a lot of these guys are laser guys. Yeah, look at this. We're being rinsed a little bit here. Being rinsed a lot here. Let's boost away from them. Finish him off. Yeah, we're going to need some upgrades here. Oh, look, there's that invincibility shield. Wow, we definitely got our ass kicked then. Oh dear. Oh yeah. Yeah, the beauty. What game's this? Homeworld? Yeah, I just look at it along the lines of, I don't know, I want end game content. I suppose part of the problem that I have, as I always say when asked these sort of questions, or it always lapses back to this, is I've played a lot of games in my time, played a lot of story-driven content and bits and pieces like that in my time, and I've done enough of it, and I just want good gameplay, solid gameplay that I can get value out of because I can repeatedly play it. There is also that element of me being a streamer, so I want things that I can stream often without them getting boring or repetitive, and roguelikes do very much fill that niche. They really do. You can have a full complement of shot and then some laser. Hello, Lo Wang. Oh dear. Time to go. Now we need to be dealing with these guys before they start. Make way for the Wang indeed. Uh-oh. Need to get that one before he changes. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's big, big trouble for us. Keep flying, you idiot. Oh, we might actually die here. I've run out of room. At least those ones are cannons. Gotta run, gotta go fast. Keep moving, keep firing, keep moving, keep firing. Don't let them get close. God, we're on a sliver here. One more shot, and that is hull compromised. Twitch, 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 twitch. Oh, yeah, so, not even close, really. No sweat.
You fought them off. Good work.
Yeah, I'm quite well practiced in it, I will add. Poise is... The thing is, it is very easy to do as well. It's very intuitive. I will tell you, if you haven't got a very good analog stick, or you are getting any sort of drift, it can make this game an absolute fucking nightmare. Tell you that for nothing. So yeah, as you can see, no problems whatsoever. We had at least a couple of mil left of hull before we were pierced. There's no problems here. So this is now where we look to the componentry that we have, and if there's anything that's particularly shit, we get rid of it. Now, this actually comes in handy for us. Although I poo-pooed it earlier, it'll give us 15% of our hull back just for us having it on, so we don't want to get rid of that yet. We could upgrade it, but I'd rather push into damage. Now, literally tinfoil, you are not wrong. Now, volatile laser needs to go, because part of the reason why this is happening is because we're not powerful enough, and there's been a big push in enemy tech, and that was an elite battle as well, I think. Now, scrap attractor, really, really good. The earlier you get it, the better. The higher level you get it, the better. This may help. The blaster sequencer, not so much. Increased damage and shot size, but not enough to make much of a difference. So let's grab the scrap attractor. I would have loved to get that as one of our starting items at level 2, or get it to level 3 as quickly as possible, but that's not what's happened. So, but we have it now, and that will give us some extra scrap. Let's go and do a nice easy battle, shall we? Leading up to another elite. Part of... Oh, another... So panicked was I forgot to get the scrap. So, part of the problem with this last sector is the enemy ships and the crystalline entity element of them. When they change into those crystals, that means that they're about to multiply. And because I let them get away with it like that previously, it just basically gave them critical mass on us. The way to avoid that is you single out what you've got for shields and the hull strength. You single out and concentrate all firepower on them, and get them before they can multiply. Uh-oh. Didn't see him. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. He shouldn't. Don't. Oh, that was a bad hit. Fuck! That's all of our shields gone. This is not turning out to be a good run. I'm not having a lot of fun here. How very dare you? Now you got this guy fucking re-shielding him. Stop it! Ugh. It's not good. And I missed the loot as well. Ugh. Will I survive this encounter? I will, because this thing doesn't shoot at you. I don't think. Ooh. If I accidentally crash into one of these asteroids whilst I'm mining, that's game over too. Wouldn't that be fun? Right? You're not wrong. I would love to have a fleet in this. I'll be honest with you, I'm regretting not going for the Sky Dragon's egg, because that in essence gives you 2 ships and the enemies prioritize the other one. They prioritize the Sky Dragon baby as opposed to me. Right, let's try and get through a level with our hull intact, and then I can start making some sails and getting some decent hull strength. I took a lot of damage then because I wasn't planning my maneuvers as quickly as I should have been. I haven't, and I should, but it's, again, it's one of those ones where I'm a bit loath to buy it, because I know I'll love it, I'll know I'll get into it, I'll know I'll love playing the tactics and the strategy element of it, and then it'll be over, and it's done, and I won't be able to do anything new. Right, we're going really, really, really far away from all this noise. I'm just gonna let it all blow over. It's fine. These things are fine. It's all part of the plan. Hello, Drew. How we doing? Oh, please kill it. Damn it! Okay, this is bad. Not as bad as last time. We've still got shield. But not for much longer. Keep maneuvering, keep maneuvering. I have seen... Hello, Ken. I have seen... Ooh, shit. You. I have seen Mr. VR Voices impressions. If you haven't seen his channel, highly recommend you go and check it out. He's very good at what he does, and he's got a very cool English accent as well. And the problem is that attitude of, it'll be alright in a few patches. I don't know at what point everybody thought that that was acceptable behaviour. I remember a time, and I'm not that old, where a game came out and it was in good state and worked. And it annoys me. It annoys me that games can get away with it these days. Like, for instance, look at Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu. Single-man developer. Game came out, completely playable. And he has added so many things to that game, it is unreal. And I don't even think the price has ever changed, except when it went from early access or app lab to full release. And he's even, like, given the game a complete facelift. It looks different now as to how it looked. Look at Downtown Club. That game has launched. Yes, it hasn't got a massive amount of content, but it has a decent amount of content for the price, with the promise of multiplayer in the future. Again, I don't like saying get this game based on promises, but that game is, you know, it's the best driving simulator that we have on the Quest. It's very good. There is more coming to it. But again, one-man developer. And guess what? It fucking works. You know, this whole, oh, it's fine, fix it in post, it's bollocks. It's absolutely bollocks. Yeah, you missed out then, man. It was a quid. A pound. This is part of what's not helping us. Collision damage increased is not good. Right, we need to find something to sell. I vote for this one. So we're already at the 15% health that we can get back. If we get rid of this, we'll get just enough to be able to get 2 more upgrades. And we'll get a nice little bump of health as well. And we've got an elite battle next up, so we want to be very careful, and we want to be using some of the... Look, see, this is what I'm talking about. No missiles when we need them. We need... I think... Right, hang on. How far's the next... Okay, we've got another sector's worth to collect scrap. I say we go for... Right, I don't think that's helping us an awful lot either, because everything we're running away from. So let's get rid of that as well. Let us increase stun blasting, because that's keeping us alive. And get... Have we got the other one for blasters as well? We haven't. We have. That is one hell of a combination. If we can get it both up to top level, 10% chance to stun, 10% that there's a probability of an explosion per shot. This is as well. So every 10 shots, we should get a stun and an explosion on average. And we've got increased range of our blasters as well. So, yeah, let's push into that. Alright, concentration time. But yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. And I hate... I hate being that like, oh yeah, it'll be okay eventually. Games didn't used to do this. They used to work out the fucking gate, and it's annoying that they don't do that anymore. But as you said, it is... Or I think it was Poise who's on the nail with it. I think it was Poise. Where it isn't necessarily development or game designers' fault. Oh, shit. Oh, look at that. And them explosions. Good. Yeah, have some of that. Right. We are going to treat these with the utmost respect. And by respect, I mean shoot them in the face a lot from really, really, really far away. Yeah. And we're just going to use lasers. If they stray into blast range, happy days. But if we stay really, really far away from them, they won't actually be able to engage their charge drives to charges. And we'll concentrate on one, because one is easier to deal with than two. It's simple math, really. Yep. You got it. Trippy indeed. But yeah, so maybe this is part of the reason why solo devs seem to be impressing me a lot more than others. Maybe this is part of the reason why solo developers, you know, like the fact that it's one guy doing it by themselves. Obviously they work out as well. That's a given. But the vast majority of it is one guy doing things by himself, like Ben Olding, like Sky Archer. They don't have all of this shit in the way. Right, Ken? Right?
Indication of additional threats.
Oh, he's gone straight for the jugular there. And change direction quickly. That was lucky. Right. Oh, we're invincible. That's helped a little bit. Laser, 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 laser. Shit. I'm gonna get those before they multiply. Ah! It's gonna happen again! Keep running, just keep running. Not outputting as much damage as I would like to be, but those stuns are starting to come off now. Run, you fucking idiot. We concentrate on the laser ships first and foremost, for the simple reason that they're the ones that will do the most damage to our shields. Get back in the arena, you fuck.
Hyperdrive operation.
Nice one, boys. Have a good one. I will see about streaming that again. Might even make the next stream with Von if I'll try and get her online with me at some point and see if it's sorted itself out. This isn't even a choice at all. We don't want heavy missiles. Getting a little bit extra meta progression is probably better than nothing. It's going to make my next run a bit easier anyway. Right, well that was very dodgy. We almost ruined the entire run on that last one. But we're recovering nicely. We'll go creature. We'll go towards the creature. Oh good, it's a different one.
Careful,
so
Captain.
That's
This
fine.
being is not
This one
from
is a reasonably easy kill as well. Oh, and you can stun it. Excellent. Again, just got to keep moving with this guy. The fact that you can stun it actually makes this very easy. Because then it can't do its laser beam special at you. Uh-oh. No, thank you. Yeah, that makes this one incredibly easy. Just finish him off. Will you die after his nibs dies? Nope, we have to finish you off too. Lasers? Yeah, lasers. Oh, I just noticed something that I don't think I've really noticed with space creatures. It looks like when you take on an offensive one, I got some healing then as well. So... oh, we got it at level 2! It's only 2 seconds, but it's free, and it's potentially something that we could sell for a lot of scrap right at the end. So now, basically what happens is, randomly a little portal will spawn and stab a ship. Hentai tentacle porn when? Hentai tentacle porn now. Now. Every 8 seconds. In this very stream. As I've said before, often beneficial, sometimes not so much, because it pushes enemies. That actually finished that off before it could do its thing, so that was very cool. And it should just come in and snap that guy. Uh-oh. No, you're targeting the wrong thing! That's going to be a lot of damage if they hit. Fucking hell. No, it did hit. So I think that's one of the only problems that you can have in this game with the targeting system is, and it is player error as well, I might add, is depending on how you've positioned yourself, targets might take priority because they're simply in front of you. And that can cause you to come a cropper. There we go. And now we can sit back and laser the thing whilst Hentai Tentacle Porn does its thing. But what a great thing. What a great special move. Wormhole just comes out of nowhere and thuds a tentacle into random ships.
We did,
Bam.
Captain.
Right through them. Right through the middle. Fuck that ship. Quite literally. And I think the reason why I like it is because it's just really different. You know, it's normally just more lasers, more guns, more missiles, bigger this, bigger that, bigger the other. But no! Wormhole tentacles and space dragons. Why not Adam? Why not Adam? Right. We are coming up to the end. We want to try and have as much money as possible to get to the end. However, I feel we need one more upgrade. What's going to help us now? I think Volatile Laser is going to help us more than Volatile Blaster. We'll get this one last. That is actually saving our bacon a little bit as well. But that's going to be getting sold soon also. Right. One last elite battle. Trying not to get my ass handed to me too badly.
Get ready for a tough fight, Captain.
Yeah, not wrong. Run, run, run. What is that? I don't even know what... Oh, yeah, I do. Fuck. Big boy ships. Now, if we get far enough away... All those missiles. We want to concentrate our firepower on that thing, because it will regenerate the shields of everything else. He is being a prick. This is what we use our missiles for. Problem is... That's problem... Oh, he's knocked out of the way! Look at that! Whop! Excellent. Good old space hentai tentacle porn at its finest. Lovely. One down, one to go. There'll probably be some little boys coming in. Yes, there they are. Got to concentrate on those missiles. There we go. Uh-oh. More missiles coming in. Lovely. Concentrate on those. Running out of arena. Get in! And this is partly because we're not powerful enough and everything's getting tougher and more difficult because of how the progression system works in this. Very much like in Death Unchained in some regards, in that it gets easier and harder at the same time. Damn. And we need to finish those guys off. Quick, quick, quick. If we can kill that big missile before it splits as well, that is very helpful to the cause. Want to try and get the shield replenisher first, but he's in the way, so just push through with damage on that guy.
Well done, Captain.
I know, the game that I haven't had a problem like giving up on. It is weird, IDU. Spent 3 years of my life getting good at that game. And only now that they've stopped adding anything new and I've just done everything so many times over, only now am I not playing it anymore. And that's very good value for money. I paid £15, I think it was, for In Death Unchained, and that has to be on a money spent to time played, because I must have put a good couple of thousand hours into that game. Has to be probably one of the best transactions in gaming history for me. The other one, the one that was probably the best, and it was because I spent so little on it, was the Magic the Gathering games on the Xbox that I, again, spent thousands of hours playing myself, with friends, and against friends. Good times. That one was probably a better value for money proposition because I simply paid less. A lot less. Alright, let's do this last one and then we'll see about choosing some... we're not going to need any upgrades for this battle. That one that we just did pick up then is increasing the amount of shield power that we have, which is always a good thing, especially for this ship.
We're not done yet, Captain.
We haven't even started, mate. And let's close in for the kill before that shield ship can get involved. And run away now. Bam. That's right. Not so great if you haven't got anything to repair, are you? But that's the, as I was saying with the Homeworld game, even if they did, and I mean, I'm surprised that that game did not release with a skirmish mode. I think it's a staple part of any RTS game that there's at least like scenarios or skirmishes or some kind of roguelike mode. Some of that. And without it, it just means that, yeah, the game could be amazing and you could spend a good 20-30 hours really getting good at it, enjoying it, and then just nothing to do with that time. It's one of my other big, well, it's not so good a value proposition, maybe. I've spent a lot of time playing a lot of the Total War games. Thankfully, they're all very similar. Once you've learnt one, you can kind of play them all to an extent, but they all take some learning as well. And I've got a very good money for value out of that, but it's those big campaigns that you can do on them where it's going to be kind of different every time, and there's kind of story elements within it and skirmish elements within it and big battles and small battles and empire management and all that good stuff. Do love me some Total War, specifically Warhammer Total War. Very much looking forward to Warhammer 40,000 Total War, or Total War Warhammer 40k when it comes out. I'm sure you guys will never hear the end of it, and I'll end up playing it on the channel as well. So, right, so we've saved all of our money there before we even look at what's available for us to buy upgrades wise. We need to get rid of the ones that are no longer useful to us. The scrap attractor, yes, by going into the next level I will receive 30 extra scrap. However, I will have nothing to spend it on, ergo we might as well sell it. We'll get a slight hull repair and we'll get more to buy and upgrade. Let's now have a look at what's on offer. We always buy the 60%. In this circumstance, I can show you why that's even now more important than it was previously. And we'll buy the decoy drones. And I'm making a point because of how I'm trying to play this now, trying to complete it in 10 runs, of getting that to try and increase our meta progression. Because I'm not going to need any help on the end boss. The end boss is a reasonably straightforward proposition. Now, what else? So, by buying these at 40% off, I buy them for 40 and I can sell them for 55. And more importantly, I get that 10% hull repair out of them as well. So we'll get rid of that one. And we'll get rid of that one. And that gives us a nice chunk of health to play with as well. Now, let's go back and have a look and see what we could have bought. Blast reloader, not bad. Laser reactor, not bad. Neither of those are needed. They're going to allow us to do a little bit more sustained damage, which is good, but they're not going to add to the damage that we can kick out. And the special rerouter isn't going to do much. Again, not one that I like. 10% chance of our energy bar instantly recharging when it's depleted. You can't work a strategy around something that might happen even 30% of the time. So we're not buying anything from there. We're probably not going to buy any of that either, which means that we have a look at our upgrades. Increasing our shields is always going to be a good shout. That's probably a better one to upgrade if you've got longevity. I don't think we need the tentacles anymore. And that would give us enough for 3 more upgrades and put our health up to tops. Nope, I've miscalculated. And we're not going to need that one either because that one's not that great. Ah, we're just off. It's only going to give us 20%. This is a boss, so that's losing out on 10%. Let's see what else we got here. Laser reloader, not bad. That one we want. Volatile blaster. Got a lot of level 3s here. Of everything that we've got, because I want to be able to try and get... It is better to try and get more upgrades than anything else. Yeah, let's get rid of that one. And then that allows us to get the laser reloader, which means that it reloads quicker, up to top level, and yeah, let's go a little bit faster. Cool. Yeah, see? See? Damn it, didn't need to sell that last one. It was all there. Should have checked. Oh, stupid fault. If they don't light up when you scan them, they do contain nothing except the huge ones. Always remember that. So yeah, we didn't need to sell that last one. Didn't make too much odds though, I don't think. We've got a very strong ship now. We're doing a lot of damage, a lot of different ways. And ultimately, that's what you want. And we're coming up to the 2-hour mark as well, which means we are on time for doing a second run for the night. Again, boss, fairly straightforward, a little bit of multitasking involved. You need to scan these as you're doing the fight. Stay on top of that and the fight is over sooner. Keep moving. Even if you plot your points like that, it's the keeping on moving nature that will keep you alive. See, our lasers are absolutely decimating things, as are our blasters. Sending a lot of nasty little ships in at us, which I don't like. That's our first defect. System overload. I cannot remember what that one does. It doesn't matter, we're just fighting through it at this stage anyway. Like, a full laser charge is taking out quite tough enemies very quickly. Can't see! Stop it! Fucking space dragons! Bastards! The only upgrade that we could have got that really would have complemented what we're doing here with the laser would have been the freeze ray, and it's literally because it just stops things in its tracks. Here comes the big boy. Try and get rid of some of these as he's on his way, because we can't attack him yet. Now we can. As soon as we dealt with those. All 5 missiles.
Captain, we need to destroy the core.
I know, Veer. Fuck off. Not that one. Ow. Look how much shield damage that one missile did. Whilst I'm trying to concentrate on... It's a lot of damage. I need to start concentrating on some of these ships. Got some more missiles now, that's good. Couple more for you, sir. We can get rid of that one. I think that'll kind of open up things for us. Actually doing a terrible job here. That should be enough. And that's all she wrote.
Final sector cleared.
Which ones did these ones do again? Damages ship every time. Oh, so that one. Oh, I missed it. So, thank you, Von. I don't know if you saw that then. That's what I hate about radiation leak. Makes all dropped loot disappear after 3 seconds. There was probably about an upgrade's worth of meta progression there, and we missed it because of radiation leak. This is why you have to not check things in this last screen and point out to your chat, oh look, yeah, this one was bad. This because just lost out on loads there, which will not help us overall. I will tell you that. But anyway, can't cry over spilt milk because we can't get it back, so crack on. But yeah, it's a twat of an upgrade, that one. Or a downgrade, that one. It really is. So strong yet so weak. 4 times you have stood before me, worthy of an audience, yet you are a speck in the grand scheme of things, obeying my will even though your will is free. Are you doing this for the fun of it? My role in this is sacred and central. My calling I received from the very voice of the universe, the source. This is a very specific request coming from the cosmos, I must say. This is as it should be. Eons ago it reached out. Is he even listening to me? I don't think he is. Kind of like most people, I guess. For me, when our empire was still young, still grasping at the metaphysical straws. We searched for a deity amongst the stars to guide us. We found the source, and it found us. If you found a fleshy empire today, you could just as well play God. This is blasphemous and vile, and I will not encourage this further. You are to proceed forth and meet me again. If you cannot, you are expended. I refuse. This is why I never converse with lesser life forms. I predicted this would be amusing. I was wrong. Well, excuse me. So yeah, so again, as I've said before, without ruining too much of what's going on here, at least there is a reason why the game keeps on repeating and we keep on doing the same thing, but it's all generated differently and all randomly. Different enemies, different maps, different events in different sequences and orders. You really seem to make it angry, Captain. I know, right? It's the tone. It's the tone and the general whimsicalness of my commentary, I think. Even though it often acts as a machine, curious. Next time, the prodding continues. And yes, Fear, I'm talking about that space tentacle hentai porn. I think we should continue this line of inquiry to see if I can gather further information, unless it's already changing its mind. Yeah, that's the least you can do to annoy it. Right, so we'll get this done and down. I won't show any of this off so that if you like playing for story, you haven't seen any of it yet. Let's get into the research. We're going to do a little bit more meta progression, where I think it's worthwhile doing. And now we're going to play as the Iris, my favourite ship. So, if we unlock the missile workshop, there's a chance that the missile workshop will come up. If we don't unlock it, we can't get it. And so it lessens the pool of items that are available. The missile workshop just basically means you've got quite a decent chance when you've got it fully upgraded to get free missiles at the end of every sector. Increase scrap gained by 20 and healing by 20%. That's quite good, and it's quite cheap. These, however, are what we want to go for, but we haven't got enough for all of them. We'll get 1. We'll get 2. So we now have a... I thought we were already at 30% chance. So we've got a 20% chance of getting a level 2 component. We've got a 10% chance of getting a level 3. Now, I know those percentage chances are low. I don't know if they're affected by the probability drive. I don't think they are, but I could be wrong. Glass cannon is a very good upgrade. Increases all weapon damage, but decreases ship shield length. It's a very good upgrade, providing you're not getting hit. This one is good for repairing hull. What else have we got, though? Because we need, if we're going to take the Iris out, we at least need some of the upgrades. If we can... Yeah, we need those. And we need... So that one's cheap. We'll grab that. That one's relatively cheap. We need more waypoints. Can't have that now. And now it's either increase the damage of the explosives or the speed. It is more important that they actually hit than them doing damage. Can't have that. So we'll increase the speed. Damage will be next. And have we got enough to do anything else? No, we haven't. Ah, well, okay. Hangar time. Now we are going to play the Iris. Now, this is probably the most dangerous part about this run. Part of the problem the Iris has is, well, you'll see, it has blink thrusters, so it teleports between all the waypoints that I set up and drops a mine on each of those waypoints. Very powerful, but you are then always using your thing that you're supposed to be using to attack, to evade, to attack with. So we're going to have to be very careful. This is the most dangerous part of me attempting what I'm attempting. Select. Isn't she beautiful? So yeah, it's the same setup as those guys that teleport, drop a mine, teleport, drop a mine, teleport, and drop a mine. We have that ability as well. We also have very few but extremely damaging missiles. So the upgrade to add an extra one of those at the end of each chapter, as it were, is now more important. Lasers are low range, but they link. So that's good. And then we have sniper blasters, which are also good. We will increase enemy laser damage by... No. Yeah, let's do that one. So we're doing all the enemy increased damage ones. And let's see if we can survive. So we're off again, but with a different ship. Now again, something that I really like about this game, you can play through this game, you need to play through this game a lot of times. You don't necessarily need to try and do it without dying like I'm attempting. And that is what it does. And then providing those hit, they absolutely KO ships. So this is a mine layer. And I always love a good mine laying ship. It's a running theme that you will find on this channel, is I like it when you can summon things and they do the work for you. So if we can be close to enemies and we can set a waypoint, set a waypoint, set a waypoint, set a waypoint, blink, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then those 4 mines will home in on the enemy and blow up and do quite a lot of damage. Very sneaky bastard. The black hole missile is actually quite good for this class. However, I would rather go for the level 2 because it's worth more scrap when we sell it. And 20% against bosses is not to be sniffed at either. There we go, that's stream luck coming in. There's a 20% chance of that happening. But yeah, the problem is its most powerful weapon system consumes the yellow bar. You're supposed to use the yellow bar for evading. So then the thing with this ship is you use the yellow bar to do a lot of damage. And you can come up a cropper, as I'm sure we will do. Now, I'd say we go normal level, space creature, elite battle. Elite battles become more and more and more important the more of that meta progression that you get that goes towards getting level 2s and 3s of things when you find them. It's not when you buy them, it's when you find them. And we've got about average hull. I should really have a look first, shouldn't I? I've got about average. Now this is a good opportunity for it. And that should be all she wrote. Just absolutely does them. But it's not like the armaments aren't up to much on this either. The armaments are actually really good. It's just the minefield that you can set is particularly good. And you can hopefully see why I've pushed into speed more than damage. And it's to make sure that those mines connect. Because they don't actually stick around for all that long. Now here is the problem with this ship. It is slow as fuck. That blink drive can make it travel further than any other ship because of all of those waypoints that I can set. So it's the most maneuverable, but the slowest. And again, when this game first came out, you only had the one ship, you only had the Aurora. The Pandora and the Iris were added about 6 months later for free, and they in essence, if you like this game and you can get on with those ships, triple the amount of content that you've got, because each ship, although you're playing through the same thing again, just changes the way that the gameplay works dynamically. Granted, there isn't a lot of difference between the Aurora and the Pandora in how they play really, but some of the upgrades are better for the Pandora, or are actually relevant for the Pandora. Alright, let's not crash into asteroids as soon as we start the level, thank you very much. Try and get a little bit of...
It was an egg.
Oh. Yeah, there we go. That's no moon! Look at that. Look at the scale of that. It's ridiculous.
Stand by, Captain.
I'll look at it in a minute, but that planet wasn't a planet, it was an egg. As Veer just told us. And he is constantly attacking everything. So we need to end this sooner rather than later. I can't remember what his upgrade was, but we need to get out of here
You
fast.
have unlocked a new entry in the data files.
Oh, goody. Damages and pushes all enemies away if ship shield is depleted. This is the worst upgrade, except for the Pandora. So this is the worst creature upgrade that you can possibly get for most ships, but with the Pandora that's constantly going to 0 shields and then recharging them because of the vampiric nature of its blasters, it's the best upgrade for the Pandora. If you can get that to top level with the Pandora, and you've got decent strength blasters, so they're doing lots of damage and vampiring shield energy back to you, you've got the game in the bag at that point in most circumstances. Oh, I think this thing stops attacking us now, which is good. So yeah, damages and pushes all enemies away if ship shield is depleted. So normally, part of the reason why this isn't a good thing is A, you don't want your shields being depleted, and B, it'll only ever trigger once per sector, whereas with the Pandora you can get it to trigger multiple times, and you can increase its amount of damage that it can do. So, right, we have got nothing that's worth our while upgrading. This could be a tough fight. We are probably going to have to use our missile. We only have one, but it's a doozy.
If we make it through this, we will be so much stronger.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong there. Right. Now, the strategy changes with these big boy ships. We want to get close to them. We want to go teleport, 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 and then with the last one, we want to be moving away. I can also lock on with my missile and fire it. Need to get that ship. Need to really get that ship. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll go away. There we go, got him. Easy job. If I haven't impressed upon how imperative... Oh, we got our missile back as well. That's good news. If I haven't impressed upon how imperative it is that you need to stay moving with any ship, it is even more imperative with this ship. If we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, teleport away, might be able to get some of those with our mines. Lovely stuff. Again, though, note they haven't got a lot of range. Keep moving. Oops. Just about see there that laser links across all of the ships. So that is normally an upgrade that you can get in the game. That upgrade is no longer available to us, or at least I've never seen it when playing as Stellaris, because we already have it at top level straight away, which is nice. Look at that. That was a lot closer than I would like it to be. If we teleport some mines onto him, he should die pretty quick. Huge amounts of damage, hull and shields. And the other thing with this one as well is the energy bar seems to increase a lot faster than with other vessels. Therein lies the problem, but we're almost finished here now anyway. That was some bad flying on my part. Although you can't really predict where the blink drive's going to take you, or the timing of it. Hopefully we get a level 2 out of that. No. Now, twin missiles. Chance of launching an extra rocket at no cost. Every time you fire a rocket, 10, 20, 30%. It's really good. It's just not high enough percentages, even with the probability drive. So that's a no. Blaster sequencer. Increase the damage of our really long-ranged weapons. Yes. Again, not a great one because it's only 2% increase, which isn't all that. But at the moment, it's better than nothing. It's all we have to push into. We're not going to do any upgrades yet because we won't need one for a normal battle. We might for the next elite battle. But I'm now trying to save our money because there's certain upgrades that we want to push in this. Quicker energy recharge is a very good one. Get some of those on the board. He may fly into them. Yes, he did. Thank you very much. Oh, he's already dead anyway. You see our blasters take an age to recharge. We do that, then we're out of the way of him, and there's mines heading towards him. And that's why I increased the speed of them, so that they actually catch to the enemy. You should... Oh, fuck. There's a whole armada coming in. You should always go for speed with those mines before anything else. Because if you don't, you'll find a lot of the time they won't even get to their target. They'll explode beforehand. Oh shit, that's a carrier. Uh-oh. Ah! Now, this is actually going to be a lot more difficult than it looks. Thankfully, he's given us time. We should... You can also charge and launch your missile with the Iris at the same time as doing your skip drive, which then makes the missiles even... The missiles are probably one of the more viable strategies with this ship. Missiles in general, as I said, I don't rate. Problem is, we only ever get one of them, and you very rarely get them back, or at least to begin with. Can increase those numbers through the meta progression, I think, and we can increase those numbers during the run as well. But to begin with, it's not so rosy on the missile front. You see, we're taking a lot more shield. We've got more shields in this thing. Ooh. Oh, let's just shoot it. I haven't got that thing yet. Always lazier asteroids, kids. Except when blasters are really long range and we haven't got the upgrade. What's that over there? Space station. Time wheel. 20 past. He's on time. I'm on time. Right, let's have a look at the next sector. So we could go space creature, elite battle, another one, space creature, and then weapons. I'd like to get to that weapons trader with the money that we've got, because we haven't got an awful lot of upgrades at the moment. So we'll head this way and see what we get. Hopefully it's a space whale, or the equivalent of a space cow or something. Nope, that's not the one. This is a good upgrade for us, though, because our longest ranged ability now gets the ability to stun. Or rather, our longest ranged and most powerful normal weapon system gets the ability to stun. Which is good. One of those will hit him. Should do. Well, one of them got him. Lovely stuff. Give me all of this. Got to stay out of the way of those as well. If memory serves. Often doesn't. We need to get close to that guy now. The blue ones do shield damage. The red ones do hull damage, I think. And we'll get nice and close and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let him have some shots on the way and concentrate on that missile, because those can really fucking hurt. Lovely. Can't remember. Yeah, I think it's red ones do hull damage and the blue ones do shield damage. That makes sense. I'm not testing it. Not right. Not in this ship. Not right now. Not at this point. No, thank you. What you got for me? Level 2? Level 3? Ah, level 1. Boo. Okay. That is worth upgrading. That one there. So, we'll get that one full up. Anything that can slow things roll on us... So in that circumstance, we'll go for that one now, because I'm a bit more confident in this thing's abilities. Anything that can slow a thing's advance whilst you are doing damage to it is really good. And it also fits in nicely with the mine-laying capabilities. Oh, we're going to close in on this guy quick, sharp. And we'll get these laid now before he's even come in. There's those stuns. That's done a hell of a lot of damage. And now we run, though, because that's a lot of craft coming in. Now, one of the beauties of this craft is that missiles coming in at us aren't as terrible a problem as usual, because the multiple nature of that laser hitting multiple targets stops missile swarms being particularly effective. And we're just gonna have to deal with all this nasty for a minute. And now that all of those waves are out the way, close in for the kill. And it'll be a wait for the missile shot, and then we'll teleport there. And then we run. And that is all she wrote. Ha ha! Right. Let's get the upgrade first, just in case it's something good. Oh, this is such a hard choice. So, special charger recharges the energy when the ship takes damage amount. Now, that's normally not a good idea, but for this thing, it can be the difference between life and death and damage output. You are going to be taking damage if you are using your mine-laying abilities offensively, so it kind of procs in with what's going to be happening already. That isn't actually what I thought it was. I thought it was the one that just makes your thing recharge faster. This, however, decreased reload time by 60%. That is the big weakness of this ship, and we're getting it at level 3. Even if it wasn't that good, I would probably take that one anyway, because a level 3 upgrade for us right now sells for 275 and gives us that 10% hull repair. Not that we're going to need it. Come on, faster! Slow ass ship. One of the meta upgrades that you get as you progress through the game is the ability to increase your ship's natural speed at this stage, whilst you are just like clearing up all the asteroids that have resources in. It isn't essential, and for what I'm trying to do with this run, I don't need it. It's an, you know, it's a, you would call it a quality of life upgrade. So now we can fire quite regularly with our blasters, which is really good. If I can get the range increase 1 for this, it'll be amazing. Skip away from that. Easy job. Easy job. Thank you for the stuff. And more blasters. And you'll see that even the blasters do a reasonable amount of damage to shields, even though that's not their function. Obviously, lasers are always going to be better. But there's not much in it. And with all that nasty stun damage and additional damage that we're doing because with blasters now, makes the blasters on this thing incredibly powerful. Let's just move Space Baby it back a little bit. And no, that's too far. No, good. Could be Earth, couldn't it? King of the world. Right. Another space creature. Now, which one is it? It is not one that we've seen before. Now, this one is very unique. This is actually not only a not bad power-up, but we also, if memory serves, and in this circumstance I do believe it does because I like this one, we have the ability to actually get a lot of resources if we are quick. So let's be fast. Basically what's happening here is that space dragon is mining all of these asteroids at the same time as us engaging things. If we can finish this level incredibly quickly, we get to do all that mining. Ow! Ugh. Teleport. Jesus Christ. Finish fast, finish fast, finish fast. No, stop shooting my asteroids. So if he basically shoots the asteroid, he gets the resources. If we shoot it, we get them. We need to be much faster than this. And thankfully, sometimes he'll target us. There we go. Right. Now, we just need to shoot the asteroids that he's going for. We'll collect the thing at the end, but for now, whatever he tries to shoot, we shoot. So that one over there. So as long as we shoot it first, we can collect the bountiful harvest. We do this at the same time as trying to shoot everything else. Hopefully, he'll do a bit of shooting at us, which he is. He's got quite the beam length as well, so you have to be careful of that. No, don't go after those. Those are mine! Stop it! This is the best space creature to see if you have... Oh, we need to use our blasters here to try and get the range. And I want that one too. Mine! Mine! No, I'm not in range! No! Oh, one more. If we're quick. Oh no, he's going for those ones! I know I say always try and use your lasers on asteroids because of the upgrade that you can get and get into those good habits, but at the moment it's about destroying them as fast as possible, quicker than he can, and then we get the resources instead of him nicking them off them. It's not much, but we got actually quite a good yield there, and then we get the thing from this one. I can't remember if this one's good or not. I don't...
Information accumulated.
Can't remember. That's level 1. Yeah, repairs upon entering a new sector. So this one is basically continually... I think he stops now. Yeah. Look at that. Even the scale of that is fucking huge. So this upgrade is not bad. Again, if you're with the Pandora, it's pretty good. Repairs your hull upon entering new sector. So that's every little skip that we do by 3, 6 or 10%, regardless of the amount that you're on. So it's a good one. Better at higher levels. Not so great for our ship because our shields are quite strong, so we shouldn't be getting down to that. We will use this opportunity though. So yeah, we're up to like 600 odd scrap now, which is good. Have we got any shops coming up? We do. We've got a shop next. Okay, let's go to the Tinkerers. And
one day, I hope the Tinkerers will
top
stop
one is
bickering.
missiles. So yeah, +1 maximum missiles for most of the other classes, for the Pandora in particular, isn't that great. +1 missiles for us is pretty good, and by taking that, we'll have 1 guaranteed missile for the boss. It'll pretty much obliterate one of the components. And we want to use that 200. Now we can increase our overall damage by another 10%. It's only for bosses, so I don't usually like to put into that unless I've got nothing better. This is only 2, 4 and 6% increments, but it's on absolutely everything that we come up against. So I don't think that is a bad idea. Let's get it to top level, and then at least we've got it. And we've still got some things that we could sell. We could sell that if we really needed money or healing, and that I don't rate that much for our ship. So, and that also I don't rate at all for our ship. If I was a little bit closer, I would sell that and upgrade something else, but we're not. Anyway, boss time. Now let's have a good look at these modules and see which one we want to take out first. The order of march with this ship changes a little bit. Look at those mines doing God's work for us. And here, I'm going to try and concentrate on the ones that require speed to dodge. i.e. that one. I know I normally say go for the ones that create things, but that's not too much of a problem for us with the amount of mines that we can drop. And the amount of output of damage that we can do. One more skip. And the thing with all of those little fighters when they gather in on you... Do bosses ever have them, I wonder? I'm sure they might. Yeah, they do. Look at that. See, this is why you check. This is why you check. Free resources. It's only 6, but it adds up. Definitely adds up. And the reason why I make a point of emphasizing this every time, in every stream, over and over again, is all those little ones that you miss. If you miss them continuously, that's like a whole upgrade or a whole module that you now cannot buy. And then you are weaker than you could be. 200. We'll have a look at the next sector first. Let's collect our upgrades. Oh, you shouldn't have. So that's the one that we were offered again, but Freeze Ray is great. So we've got things that are stunning enemies with our main weapon, and now slowing by 75% with our complementary weapon. And it's level 3, so even if it wasn't very good, we can sell it for shitloads and upgrade the things that are good. Now, no, I did not upgrade before we went into the next sector, for the simple reason that I wanted to have a look at what's coming up before I do so. There is a weapon trader here, and we could go that way. Yeah, I think that would be a better shout, because the autocannon for this ship is particularly good. But we'll decide that in a minute. Hey. Yep, thanks for stripping shields by crashing into asteroids, you fucking idiots. Too easy. Skip out of the way of those dying ships as well. Like with totems on Hellraiser, if you are losing huge amounts of health in this game and you don't know why, huge amounts of shield health, it is probably because you are too close to enemy ships when they blow up. And most fighters, when they blow up, have those shockwaves. And it does huge, it does obscene, it does obnoxious amounts of damage to your ship. Another cool thing about this ship and its multi-charge, multi-laser thing is you can clear asteroid fields very quickly. You see all those lasers bouncing between the different asteroids. Not that they had anything in, but it can help you clear them fast, which is nice. We don't want another space creature, even if it was a good one, because it leads to exclamation marks. We've got enough cash to be able to buy everything from this, and we're missing... There's a good chance that we'll get what I'm after, which is the autocannon. I would like to go for an elite battle, because there is a good chance that we'll get level 2 or level 3 upgrades from it. But there's a better chance we'll get more useful stuff and we'll be able to buy it all. We've got some very good upgrades, but we're kind of like running out on things to upgrade. And that's why when I make the decision to go to a weapons trader...
Trader ahead, Captain.
Over an elite battle. Oh, yes. Sneaky trader. You'd think he'd mind that, wouldn't you? He is after scrap after all, and it's right there next to him. Puts us up to 303, that's good. So, shield breaker, really good for us. Increase the damage done against enemies with shields. We are basically using our blaster, because it's a sniper blaster, against shields a lot. So this is great for us. Laser sequencer makes our lasers a little bit more powerful. Not great, but we have got some other things into lasers that are doing good stuff. But regardless, it's 60% off. We can sell this for more than we buy it, so we always buy that. And now, here's the strange part. The missiles for this weapon, for this ship, are very, very powerful. Increasing that by 20% is substantial. I'm getting it because it's there. The other problem with this upgrade is it increases the lock-on time by 35%. That isn't too much of a problem when you can be doing your lock-on whilst you're in that blink drive sequence. So, again, missiles aren't amazing. Missiles are probably the best for this ship system. You don't want to go after these, but again, as I've said previously as well, there is merit in the fact of buying upgrades so that you won't be offered them when you go to elite battles because you've already got them. Now we've got some nice easy battles coming up, followed by probably a quite tough elite battle. All opportunities to get some stuff. Ow, 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 ow. So now that we're doing alright weaponry wise and absolutely KOing ships with the damage that we can output, you'll see me using that blink drive less for damage and more for evasion, which is where you want to get to with the ship. Having said that, look at that. Our shields are down to 1/3 after those guys blowing up on us. And I could be quite a lot further away from this as well. The other one that's really good for this one, and again, it's that whole extenuating things that are already good. If a thing has got, if a craft has got a lot of shields, if you increase that by 20, 40, 60% or whatever it is, that's gonna have a lot more significant an impact than if you increase the shields of something that has really weak or very much lack of shields. So the blasters on this are sniper blasters. They can blast a particularly far distance. So if we then increase the range of those, it'll make it quite massive. And that is... we like quite massive. Yes, we do. Oh, let's not crash into the asteroid. This is what we want to be pushing at the moment, though. Increased damage against shields, because we are using our blasters against a lot of enemies. And so... well, I haven't even got the cash to do it yet, so I don't even know. But that's what we want to be upgrading for next. That's more like it. And he's stunned. The only other one that we could get that would really help us, other than blaster range right now, is blaster volatility. And just basically be causing even more damage incrementally in those explosions. And remember as well that those explosions knock the enemies back, which then delays them getting towards us, which is another good thing. As I said, this is what one of the things that after the free DLC that they added to the game with the extra ships, it's one of the things that I really enjoyed. There was a good before the extra ships, there was a good 40 hours, well, yeah, 40 to 60 hours worth of gameplay in this game, and that's not including the daily challenges, and that's me talking from a perspective of playing this front to back. Which, the first time it took me longer than 60 hours. We still haven't got enough. We have got things that we can sell, though. Could sell that, but it won't get us there. We'll need to sell 2, and we're not using that. So we'll sell that. Again, I'm missing out on the 10% repair, but if I can make sure that we're doing plenty of damage to things, they won't get close enough to even damage our shields, let alone our hull, so we won't need this. Recycle... and where was the other one that I didn't rate? This one. This is no good to us. Now, again, the problem is, by selling these, you know, we can pick them up again. But these ones are creature ones, so they're okay to recycle at this stage. Where was it? This one. Increase damage, because we're already doing a hell of a lot of damage even when it hits the shields. If we can double that, 20 to 40%. Happy days. It should, famous last words, make this elite battle even easier. Be walk in the park. Walk in the park.
If you don't focus, we are done for.
He's not wrong. That is a big old ship. 1, 2, 3, and move away. Let's get some blaster shots on you as we retreat. A good amount of damage. Now this is where this laser sequencer thing comes in handy that we've got. Look at all those missiles. Normally that can be a cause for concern. Not with the link laser though, because it just kills them all really quickly. Yes, he's down. Good. And then we run away from those. Let you have it. And let you have it. Still lost a lot of shields accomplishing all of that, though. So, but let's just not take any hull damage. I've decided. 1, 2, 3, and away. Try and get some shots off as well. Good stuff. More? Any more? There's more. You can always tell by that little, like this little delay, that there's more incoming.
Hyperlanes Ready for travel.
And so I can't remember who it was who was saying, was watching, might have even been Poise, and he was saying how he just really doesn't get on with the Iris. I think it's easily the best ship in the game. A couple of choice little upgrades, and it's mainly about those mines having speed, and you can even get an upgrade that allows you to plot one more waypoint here, so that means that you can drop 5 mines per jump. Very good. That's too late. This would have been great for us, but it's just too late. This is fantastic for us, though. I probably won't upgrade it. We want volatile blasters, not really volatile lasers, but better than nothing. That was a reasonably easy battle. Now, we're going to go down to the elite battle and then off to the Tinkerers. This isn't going to help to us because we're not going to have the cash for it. And I want to avoid these like the plague. I always do. Later on, again, another thing that I like is as you make the game harder for yourself so that you're able to progress, it makes shops not even worth bothering with, which then means that these are better, space creatures are good, and elite battles are then obviously the best choices for you. Oh, that sounded like my battery just caved in. Bear with. There we go. Let's make sure that's charging. Yes, it is. And there we go. Right. Nice easy battle. Snipe them from afar. Or laser them. Actually, we'll just do this. And away. I remember now. Yeah, the mines aren't particularly effective against these guys that split just like missiles. And the reason why they're not effective is they go for where the ship was when it split, if they were fired at that point, and not for the parts of the ship that it splits into. One, two, 3, 4, that'll do. Well, good. Let's go through, cut through the center of them, wait for the teleport, the blink drive to be ready. 1, 3, 4. See, I think the other thing with the blink drive as well that you need to be very careful of and hyper aware of is certain enemies will engage you at incredibly long ranges with things like missiles, which are easily to deal with, but when you get close they'll activate their cannons and their lasers, and of course to make the blink mines as effective as possible you do need to be very close. So you always have to bear that in mind, but a lot of the time the ship does at least have the shields to deal with that. Good, good, good. Ah, the Radius. Featured in such games as Into the. Don't really have the money to do much, and we're going down this way. We'll have ourselves another elite battle. Hopefully we'll get a level 2er or a 3er. But again, hopefully for those of you who plan on playing this or playing these sort of games in general, you can hopefully see the reason why. Skip out. I pushed very heavily into those things that double, that increase our chances of getting those high level upgrades. Because we've got, I think it was, what was it, 10% chance? Now that they're split, these mines will work. Fuck you guys, I'm over here. Here you can see why I've gone for that in the meta progression, because they make your ship insanely powerful, or at the very least, if you don't get the luck, give you things that you can sell for a lot, which then means that you can push into what you have got. So you can get some incredibly broken builds going on this game, let me tell you. Now in this circumstance, I would be tempted to sell this to upgrade one of these by one, but I think we're probably doing alright. I think we'll be alright for an elite battle. And hopefully get something that's worth putting an upgrade into. Or better yet, get a level 3. But this is why I push into the level 2 and 3 upgrade percentages. Even though it's only... we're only at 10 and 20% now. We've already had a good share of the luck. I think you can... No, we'll save... Yeah, threats. You can have a missile. And then we'll go... Oh, dear. Size of that missile, it's bigger than him. It missed, but it was pretty big. It was special whilst it lasted. Oh, that's gonna hit. Oh, that was close. Actually got saved by the fact that we've got very strong blasters that are absolutely tearing through shit. They, again, as I said, they do anyway, but if you put some upgrades into them, you don't half see the benefits very quickly. Look at that, dead in one salvo. And that was with a decent chunk of shields. Come on. Little closer. Come on. Come on. Just touch into range. Come on now. Don't be shy. Like, imagine if that was an enterprise. I know, again, I say these things every stream that I do of this game, but it would look so good if that was an Enterprise Galaxy class. Or, you know, a little Intrepid whizzing around this same system up against Klingons and Romulans and all sorts. It'd be great. Absolutely great. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Blaster range. So, everything is already stupidly powerful on our most stupidly powerful battle system. Blaster range at level 3, so 30% straight off the bat. So this will, you know, these things were already longer range than our lasers, and look at this. Just blast everything now. That range is ridiculous. Excellent. And again, do we not play roguelikes to become broken? I do. I like a good roguelike that is hard, but you can become broken in and then make the game not easy, but, you know, rub its face in it. And that is what we're going to be doing right now. So we don't need to upgrade anything. Have I got any shops coming up? Yes, we do. Yeah, it's only the Tinkerers. So we can do one upgrade before the boss here. Take those shields out. You can have some of this. And some of that. And I'm gone. It's just too good. It's just too good. Though it did take a lot of damage. Use the lasers to slow them down, keep them from getting into range, and then carry on blasting. Look at the range of their blasters, though. That's ridiculous. As long as you can get one, the other one will close in on us. That'll do him much good. Again, we keep moving, slow him down with the lasers. Finish him off with the blasters. And that... Oh, another big boy, though. 1, 2, 3, before. In these circumstances, it's often a better idea to get the mines down before they've teleported in. Then you don't have to put up with that return fire. Uh-oh. That's going to blow. That's going to hurt. Ow. Sad panda. Ah, well, we will get some hull health. And this is a normal battle. This isn't even an elite battle. Again, an incredibly hard game. It can all go to pot stupidly quickly, even though it usually does when I think I'm stupidly powerful. And I start pissing around. The thing is, the temptation with this ship is to use its skip drive to increase your damage by just ploughing mines into everything, and I do love doing that. But that's not how you should play it.
The Tinkerers
You should use the skip drive defensively to get away. Have that extra missile. Thanks very much. And we shall... Now, have we got anything that we can upgrade? Yes, we can upgrade those blasters to take down shields quicker. That is good, yeah. And... haven't really got anything that I want to get rid of. If anything, I would have got rid of the missiles. That volatile laser is looking like our next best shout, if not that one. Again, I don't like pushing our precious resource into this because it's only 10, 20 and 30% extra against bosses, and there's only... I don't think it counts creatures as bosses, so you don't get this against anything other than bosses, and there's only 3 in the game. So, and none of them are particularly difficult. We'll go for the laser focused one. Now we need to be incredibly careful with this ship. We have to make sure that we've got full boosters when it dies. So we've got to be careful. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the size of those missiles! Thank you, Vaughn. Have some laser. And it's at this point now. We do not, because we'll kill it. And then we fly away as per normal. And as long as we've got a full bar, this one is very easy to dodge, because we're gone.
Nice work, Captain.
Still almost got taken out by it with the easiest to dodge one. It is. It almost tipped us within that wing. That little tip as well would have taken at least all of our shields and probably at least half of what little hull we have left. So there you go. I fucking hate that boss. No, K2. Different run. Look, I've got the Iris. The USS Rotten Crotch in all its glory. Oh, no! It's the USS Blue Balls! The USS Blue Balls. Now that is very nice to see. Why? 20% increase to our movement speed. Collision damage, i.e. this taking collision damage, is its big weak point because it's slow. If we can increase its speed, we've got a chance. Got a chance. The USS Blue Balls. See, look what we do now. We have a blink drive, and we saturate our enemies with blue balls. Right, so always ends up being a sexual nature, doesn't it? Always. There's just no help in some people, is there? Right, so as far as upgrades are concerned, the bad of this upgrade, because it is a hurt me help me, increased collision damage received by 25% and ship movement speed by. So the moment you get it, you're already at the maximum amount of increased collision damage. So you may, if you are going to upgrade it, you may as well upgrade it. So let's do just that. Now, I should have waited. Now, here's a good example. That is why I should have waited to upgrade until I had a look at the next sector, because I still could have upgraded right now, and I wouldn't have upgraded that because there's a weapons trader. Now we are short of cash, which means we are going to have to make some choices. Fuck! It's getting all excited because I got a yeehaw out of K2. That's why. Fucking always Menace's fault. Always. So easily swayed by that yeehaw. Right. Thankfully, it's all missile zone. We don't want any of that shit. Right. That is incredibly powerful for us. Volatile blaster. We want that. We don't buy that first. For the simple reason that we can buy this and then sell it for a profit. Now we buy the volatile blasters, and now our build has got just a little bit more broken. It would have been very nice to have the black hole missiles. Creates a gravitational black hole lasting 5 seconds before the rocket explodes, so it hits its target, creates the black hole, draws everything in, and then blows up. This thing's missiles are already heavy hitting and huge radius, and that black hole. The other thing that's very cool is the black hole pulls in all of the asteroids in the level as well and can cause them to collide. So it's very good. I'd love to get that, but I don't think I can. I'd need to sell something. I could sell that. Still wouldn't be. Oh no, it would be enough. It would be enough. Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. So we'll lose 20% damage against the M boss. I don't think we need it though. Let's have those. I might upgrade this, but 100%, as you'll see when we rattle off our next missile, is pretty fucking huge anyway. We want to be going to the elite battle, so we're going to have to go through the space creature. I know we've already done a lot of space creatures, and I do say to try and avoid doing too many in the same run. But, well, rules are made to be broken, aren't they? Oh, I know. Oh, this is actually a different space creature as well. So this one, where you can see nothing, and there's lots of things to... You'll see that some of these asteroids are red, and the reason being is they house the space creature. Do not shoot them. So for that reason, with me, don't use your fucking laser beam thing. Do not shoot them until you've cleared all the enemies in the level, because otherwise you'll just have to deal with the enemies and the space creatures at the same time. Enemies and space creatures joining forces to take the player down, as always seems to be the fucking case. Perfect.
Incoming threats detected.
And if you do have the link laser like we have, you can still use it, just stay really far away from any of the asteroids. If you hit one of those that are red, all of the space creatures will come at you. They're not difficult to deal with, not in the slightest as it happens. Didn't want that to happen. Fuck off. There we go. They're not difficult to deal with, but they're just much easier to deal with when you haven't got anything else to deal with. They're just standard rammers as well, which arguably is the worst thing that we can go up against, things that try to ram you, especially now with that Daredevil drive that we just picked up.
Space amoebas usually travel in herds like this.
Yes, they do. Thank you, Mr. Attenborough. Thankfully, we do have the tech to deal with them quite rough and readily. Nice long-range weapons that stun and freeze and stop them just being the nuisance that they can be. Now, the upgrade that we receive from these, though, is shit. So hopefully we get a high level. Level 1. Reduces all enemy damage by 50% when... reduces all enemy damage by 10, 20 or 30% when your hull strength is below 50. I pledge our hull strength is never going below 50, so this is useless to us. We will be selling it. And I could do with the repair, as it happens. There you go. Space clams! Ooh. As I say, I know the camera isn't ideal, but at least the way that we have it, you can see some of the action that's going on. Yeah, what are the seashells for, do we dare ask? The 3 shells. But there's so much, like, little details here, and it's all done incredibly well. And I am not a graphics tart, I might add. Right. I think that's all of them. Yep. Nope. Might sell that straight away. Just don't need it. And then that allows us to purchase an upgrade, and we do have an elite battle coming up next. And I did pledge. So that can go now. That gets us, tops up our hull to full. And we'll upgrade that one. Because volatile blasters is very good news for us. So now when an enemy takes a hit from our blasters, they have 10% chance to get stunned, taking 6% more damage, have a 6% chance to have an explosion happen on board, which will then knock them away. And it just... And on top of this as well, anything gets blasted at a 30% longer range. It's just making us ridiculously powerful. So this is probably
ready for combat.
The most powerful we have been. Still need to concentrate our fire on one of these at a time if we can. Because we don't want them separating if we can help it. Oh, we don't want them multiplying, rather. And we want to keep plenty of space between us and them, because us being slow and them being fast and ramming is our weakness. So we will stay plenty far away, and we'll just blast them. It's almost not fair. Fuck off. These are these purple monstrosities here are the enders of runs, of many, many runs. One ram from them is often enough, even from at full strength, especially with a Daredevil drive, is enough to kill. Even if he does get close enough, he's not even going to be able to do it. World's smallest violin playing just for those purple shits. Hey, what's going on over here? Multiplying without me noticing, you pricks. Thankfully, once they've multiplied once, they can't do it again. You'll also note as well with the blasters with the iris. You'll also notice with the blasters with the iris there is a slight homing. Don't think you can miss shots with the blaster because the laser is so close range normally. Now, we're not using a lot of laser. This isn't great timing, but it will just get us more salvage over time. Again, this is another one that you want to get early doors and upgrade as quickly as possible. 20% more for the last few levels that we've got isn't bad. Is probably better than the laser reloader, and because we're not really using lasers, and at the very least we'll be able to sell this at the end for a load of scrap, which will then mean that we can upgrade the things that we do want to upgrade. Now, skip, 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 skip. And blast, blast. Any more? No. that one is only 20% more from enemies as well, not from mining. So, not as good as it could be. We've still got a decent number of sectors to go through, though. More scrap is always nice, but you can imagine if you had that straight from the beginning, 30% on top of everything that you're already getting is a lot. Concentrate on one, there he goes.
Additional threats detected, Captain.
Concentrate on that one. They usually start trying to multiply when they've either lost their shields or just been left to their own devices for a very long time. We need to get away here. That is not a good combination. Didn't do very well there, did you? Although he will come back for another shot. As I said, I don't think I've expressed how much I hate those enemies, but I hate them. Is there more? Oh, it's those things. Okay. Have to kill those first. There we go, lovely. More? More stuff? More stuff? No, more stuff. 200. We won't do... Actually, you know, practice what I preach. We won't do any more upgrades until we get here, because knowing my luck again, there won't be a shop after this, but, you know... It's the times when you're not mindful as to when you do your upgrades is when this game catches you out and then you can't get all that powerful shit. Ugh. Too slow! And another one. We'll just keep him at arm's length with the blaster and all that nasty going in on his hull.
We did it, Captain.
Yes, we did. There is a slight homing nature to those, but there's also the factor that they are faster blaster shots than any of the other ships. You can increase that shot speed with the meteoric blast. See? Didn't do the upgrade. Now we don't have to make any choices of a utility upgrade. Or utility trader. We can buy it all. That's why you don't do it. I could have easily upgraded before I had a look.
Time to trade.
Because I didn't. Now it's time to trade, and we've got all the resources we need to be able to buy everything. You want to be coming in here with at least 240 so you never have to make a choice. That's great. That's cheap, and we're going to use that. Increase maximum shields. Any time that you can increase shields, even on the weakest shield ship, it's a thing that you're going to be using the most of, so if you can increase it, happy days. And we're getting it because, again, 60% off. Shield stunner. This is rubbish. Stuns all enemies if ship shield is depleted for 3, 5, or 7 seconds. With the Pandora, you can lose your shields, regenerate them with your blasters, and trigger this again. The fact that you get only really one trigger from it and then you're down to your hull is why it's bad. With the Pandora, you could get multiple triggers of this, and it just makes the value of this absolutely insane. Oh god, I said the word insane. I didn't use it, I didn't sensationalize it in a title, and it does make the run ridiculously easy. So I'm going to stick with the correct terminology and usage of the word insane. But yeah, the shield stunner and the... don't think we have it. I think I sold it. And the other one that there's one that does damage and there's one that stuns. If you can be damaging and stunning and all enemies on the level every time that your shield depletes, and then you recharge it, and you don't even need to shoot the enemies anymore. You just take a couple of hits and then shoot stuff to get your energy back. And again, it makes you're then really leaning into ways that these are played. But for every other ship, this is shit. Don't even bother. Hunter's Mark. 10, 20, and 30% on the thing that I don't like taking very many of. And none of the creature battles, you really have to actually shoot the creatures. So I don't know if this applies to the entire level, or just the boss itself, or just the creature itself. If it is just the creature, it makes it even worse. But if it is the entire creature level and all the enemies within it, it's still a bad upgrade. Again, for the same reason the boss damage upgrade is bad, because you only get to use it on 2 or 3 things. You want to increase your DPS overall, not on just certain things. It'd be like taking cataclysms throughout the entirety of the levels on IDU just to deal with Anakin. Stupid! Silly! Ridiculous! We're going there next, and we've got money to burn. We shall... just because it has got a little bit hairy. Yeah. 200 into this will not get us back that 10%. Shield booster. Increase maximum shield by another 20%. Who even cares about that game anymore? God. Thing is, I say all of this about IDU. Just give me a competition. One competition, a new mode, or, if they're very clever, bring back Runner or Barrage of Needles scoring, and I'm back. And I wouldn't be able to help myself. But they won't do those things. I think that game is, yeah, I think they're done now. Still, great game, great value, great proposition. Fantastic experience, but yeah. And the problem is, because everybody's got worse, it takes me a hell of a lot longer to even get anywhere near. Takes me absolutely ages to get my scores anywhere near like we used to. Ooh. Here's a... oh, hang on. I better... damn it, I didn't get a chance. Shit. And this is why those lasers are so good. Kill it. Damn it! That's why these lasers are so good. These link lasers are so good against those missiles, because it just makes them a null and void a threat as long as you've got a little power within your lasers. Or not null and void, it just makes them a lot easier to deal with. Right, you, sir, can have a black hole on you. Eventually. Ow, prick. Still not perfect. Yeah, I did see that. And look at this. Got all those asteroids heading his way now. I love it. Don't destroy the asteroids. Yeah, I saw that the other day. Kato, I haven't watched the video yet. I will do, though. How did you do? Uh-oh. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous. This could be game over. Although we are getting very far away. Very, very far away. Laser him, slow him down. Shit. Shit. Slow time for the fucking... Look at that damage. You need to get away. Let's get very far away. Now let's finish that off whilst they're closing. Look at that. Absolutely KO'd us. One glancing hit. And that was almost run over. And then done. Desolation. Ugh. Who goes on desolation? Ugh.
You fought them off. Good work.
I suppose that was an elite battle, but look at that. This is what I'm talking about. We were full enhanced shields and we had full hull. Now, yes, I've got that Daredevil drive, which means I take increased collision damage, but still, one glancing strike, and because they like teleported in on top of us, even that blink drive getting to the other side of the level, they'll still charge and follow you because they've locked on initially. So no, that's fair. That's the only reason why I went to Desolation. Achievements, 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 and then it shall never be seen or talked of again. I treat Desolation like Von treats the pits. What Desolation? It's a shame as well, because it's a fantastic level. And it looks really good. It's just harder, and there's no reason to be there. Chance of restoring ship by 50% if depleted. By 50% chance of getting my shields back. Which isn't great. This one is probably better. A 10% chance, and it's just because a 10% chance is better than a 50% chance triggering once. 10% chance, and this is able... Exactly right, Pits? What? This is able to trigger multiple times, so although it's not great, I still rate it better. Yeehaw, Von, indeed. Still rate it as better. Right, that was a particularly nasty battle, so let's make sure we don't die. Anything that we go... We're probably going to get a repeat here of a space creature battle. There could be a good one that we might get. And I'd say a space creature battle would be better than these two, or would be at least a higher yield of resources.
A majestic space whale.
Space whale! Space whale! Now, because of what the space whale does, we don't want to be doing any mining. Not that there is any. But we don't want to be doing any mining until the level is finished. Because the space whale's upgrade increases our mining yield when we mine using the laser. So...
More hostiles incoming.
This is the upgrade that I keep on banging on about, and the reason why you should always try and use your laser, whether it's convenient or not, to mine. Oh, would you fuck off with you... Ugh. What would you like to play, Kim? I did actually say Guardians earlier. Hello, Remaster. Oh, is it... Hang on. Was it you last time? I can't remember. Let me have a look. Oh, Memester. Hello, Memester. My speech to... My text-to-speech is so shit. It called you Wemaster. Stuff I have to put up with. Wemaster. I did really say Guardians, and you didn't appear. I was, you would have loved this run, meme. I managed to get, we were offered, I might even still have them. I was offered the 2, oh, what were you going to say, Kim? I'm intrigued. We were offered both of the, if your shields deplete, do damage, if your shields deplete, stun, and those two upgrades once you've got them on the Pandora and fully leveled, and then a little power into your blasters so you can constantly keep getting your shields down to nothing and recharging them. It's just fucking game over with the Pandora at that point. Nothing can stand against you, not even the boss. So anyway, Space Whale. Hopefully we get it at a decent level. It's not going to be very good. Ah, there you go. We got it at level 2, so that's not too bad. So we now have 100% increase in yield on mining. We want to get that as our first space creature, and then you dump everything into it as quickly as possible so that you get the maximum yield. Worst case scenario, we'll get a little bit more yield on what little asteroids there are left in the game before we complete, and we get to sell it. I haven't... But Kim, I haven't got 0 caliber 2. I've got 0 caliber 1. Does that count? I'll probably wait on 0 caliber for a little while. Let's go and have a look at the majestic space whale. Ugh, tentacly. So I'll have to see about getting in touch with the devs on it. I do want to play it. Back to Guardians. I do want to play it. It's just... No, it is. I'm sure it is a good game, but I played that one. I felt like I played that one to death with my usual little crowd anyway, or I played that one a lot. And I know it's just more of the same. I know it is more of the same, and that is good. Usually. So, right. We want volatile black. How many levels have we got left? What's the only thing... Good one, Ken. Very good, very good. Ah, but this, the year, the night is still young. There's still plenty of time. Might even die on an elevator in space. At this rate, who knows? All right, let's get this last one done. And it's onto the Tinkerers, grab an extra missile, and then we'll make some choices. What I am attempting to do, Memester, just so you know, because I think you might be able to appreciate this, because I know you said that you don't see the point of the upgrades or the things at the end that increase meta progression. And what we're going to attempt to do is we're going to attempt to complete this in the minimum amount of runs possible. And the minimum amount of runs would indeed be, I think, 11.
Multiple signals on the instruments, Captain.
Oh, God. So that's when, like, getting decent amounts of meta progression to try and make that task easier for myself is going to be quite key. Well, yeah, but with the Iris, though, I mean, the Iris is pretty good. Because I think you said that you were having trouble using the Iris, and we've done a reasonably good... We've given it a reasonably good performance tonight. We're powerful enough now that we don't really need to be using our blink drive. I'm just shooting things at extreme ranges with the blaster. I got all the good power-ups as well. I've got the range one. I've got the volatile blaster up to top level now. Alright, stop it. There we go. Now we'll just do this. Probably shouldn't pay attention to what my hand's doing. Probably for the best. Let's finish it off with a blink. Bop. Bop. Got to take that missile out first before we even think about doing that. Otherwise, we could come a cropper. Yep, I'll just blow it up then. But what I was saying earlier as well with this one, Memester, I think you said you were struggling with the blink drivers, or with the iris. You want to get the speed of your mines up first before you even bother with damage, and then you want to do that, and then your last waypoint, put it away from the enemies so that you lay all of your mines in the same sort of area and then get the fuck out of there and then let the mines do the work. Ah yes, the USS Blue Balls. Right. Now we do need to be using a little bit of discipline and using our lasers to take out the mines because more yield because of space cows. But yeah, so with the meta progression side of things, I'm hoping to do this. We've done, this will be our 4th run or our 5th, I think. Can't remember. I'm hoping to just progress all the way through the game from one to another. I'd like to show that it can be done as well, because it isn't so much along the lines of, oh yes, look at me, I've played this game enough that I should be able to do it and it shouldn't be too much trouble. But it's more to do with, or it's like 90% to do with, because 10% is me showing off, come on now. But 90% of it is showing off that a decent roguelike game can be made that way, where you can just go front to back once you have a level of skill. In Death Unchained, you can do that, however, you need to put a lot of time in to be able to. I think a lot more time than this. Let's get that extra missile, good stuff. We don't need to worry about healing because we are going to be selling some of our weaponry before we go into the boss. And the thing is as well, the iris is only going to be made more powerful. Oh, look at this. Check there's no others. Zap. See, there's an extra 22. You don't think to check the asteroids when you're at the traders, but you always should. It's only 22, but if you miss that every single time, every single run, it fucking adds up, let me tell you. Right. Oh, autocannon. Mama. We definitely take the autocannon, especially at that. Look at this. It's offering me the fucking Pandora big boy upgrade again. I love this one for the Pandora. It's so good, the shield stunner. Shit for everything else, but really good for the Pandora. We're having that data disc as well. And what else have we got? Laser reloader we take because we can sell it for more than we buy it for. These two are... That one's particularly not very good for us because we're a long-range craft. Hull piercer, we're barely using laser, so I'm gonna abstain from all of that. And we are going to... Right. There's some sales that we can do straight away that are no-brainers. This one, we sell. Because increasing our scrap at this point now for enemies killed, well, you don't get much scrap in the I don't think you get any scrap in the boss. And increasing it by 20%, no gain. So we've had our value out of this because it started out at level 2. We have paid nothing to upgrade it as well. And we wouldn't have for where we got it. You'd only upgrade this to top level in the first, in the first chapter. And as early as possible. But for now, it's just going to repair our hull and give us 165 scrap. Likewise, with the mining laser, there are now no more asteroids for us to mine. So we sell this, hull repaired, and more scrap. Now, we need to be able to sell at least 3 to be able to get another 2 upgrades. I'd like to upgrade the autocannon, We are going to be using missiles. They are already very powerful. I'll be honest. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. And then that would allow me to upgrade all 3. So let's do that. So it does mean getting rid of a little power within our laser. Volatile laser is very good, but if we concentrate our blaster, this will be a cakewalk. And our missiles, as I said, the 20% was nice. We haven't put anything into it because it's only an extra 15% gains for a lot of scrap. So let's get rid of that too. We'll keep the black hole missiles, and then that gives us 3 upgrades. And I say we put them into the autocannon, just fires at standard at targets. But the beauty of this is it does it automated, and it benefits from all of these blaster upgrades that we already have. Range, shield, smacking. That one doesn't make any odds to it. Stunning, damage, volatility. I think that procs off with it as well. So we'll get that one up to level 3. And then one more. If I was concerned about the boss, I would push it into shields and just increase the amount of shields. Although shield upgrades aren't quite as good for this last battle because you're only going to get to make use of them once. I think the last one... There is a lot of shit that you can pull into each other on this part, and it will make our missiles even more effective. So I'm going to increase the black hole missile gravity strength by 200%. It'll pull everything in faster, and it'll be funny. Just don't be in the way of it when it happens, but it'll be funny. Right. One last one. We'll do some meta progression, and then we'll call it a night. And I got to think of something to stream on Wednesday. And then I'm considering Guardians. I really am, because as I said, I've been playing a lot of Starship Troopers. So, and I know it's very much like that. I feel like I need to play some Guardians, though, before I stream it. So, that'll be on Kim, probably, to pester me. Haha, easy. How many missiles you got? Loads. Yeah, I bet you will. Right. Look at this. They stand no chance. Radiation leak. Right. I will not lose my meta progression this time. Yeah, the auto gun is not as long ranged as our sniper blaster, but it just means that when things are really long ranged, they take huge amounts of damage, and then when they close that distance, they take huge amounts of damage, and we like both of those factors. Look at that, half a salvo, and things are dead. You can eat a missile. In fact, have two. Have an extra on my chat. There you go. Lovely. Uh-oh. Oh, they give me a missile back. And you can have some of these. And what that should do is that's it. That'll just... Yeah, that's done. Too fucking powerful. Good old blue balls. The USS Blue Balls.
Captain,
more feistier than the USS Bottomcrutch. Now, there is going to be some meta progression popping up in a sec. There it is. And you've got to get it fast if you have a radiation leak, or you lose out on, like, what, 500? I think that is. 500 meta progression. Watch you going through these and go, oh, that was fucking horrible. Oh, that one's fucking horrible. Oh, that one's horrible. Don't do that. Fucking concentrate on getting your meta progression. don't do what an STD does. Right. Easy. But yeah, you saw how powerful our blasters were then. And I was barely getting into close range either where the autocannon would have come in. I would have loved to have got that autocannon a lot earlier. That would have made that even easier. As a general rule, the autocannon, I think, is one of the most versatile and strongest in this because it's just free DPS and it's being done automatically, so you can't even forget to do it. You just need to be in range. I have calculated risk since we met the last time. Based on your crude input, even though doubt is blasphemous, I need to question my faith, but for a few moments. What do you mean? There is a possibility that my second prediction of the source's origin is true. If so, something is doing to me what I am doing to you. And it feels so fucking great, does it now? A little bit of silence for you. I think there might be someone else listening to us. Yeah, I know, right? It's chat. I think it is much closer than I ever thought. Yeah, that's definitely chat. Quickly, we must hurry and be quiet. Yeah, you're definitely speaking to the wrong guy. I mean, I am fast. I'm just not quiet. There's a failsafe you can access, and I can show you how. That sounds better than being stuck here, even if it is dangerous. Embedded in my secure data archives, there is a small purposeful leak. What does that mean? It has the capacity... What the fuck is going on in my right ear? Would you stop it? It has the capacity to send a distress signal out into the far reaches of the universe, telling our story to whoever comes after. So you're going to write an ebook? Aww, aren't you a great little fucking thinks he's a deity type? Yeah, send for help. No, I feel I might owe you a detailed explanation, especially if we are to work together on this. My evaluation matrix has changed. Oh, please do go on. My concept of freedom and free will has increased in value by several 100%. I can grant us freedom, but is only earned if we cooperate. We will speak again soon. Not so bad for a lesser life form, eh? Prick. Coming in here with his big ideas and then gets a sense of self-preservation and now it's all, oh, save me, save me. What a prick. Right. This is why I don't like story. This is... I've heard it all before. That's how I engage with it. Hello, Fear. I look forward to our next meeting with our captor. Is it in the same situation as us? I hope so. That is probably the source of its compassion. Now it has promised us an explanation at least. According to my analysis, it has at least a 70% chance of being true to its word. Yeah, it's still creepy though, isn't it? Right! Data files. Bam. Story, done. Out. So, next, we will most likely be going for Battle the Crystal Guardian. The Crystal Guardian is a combination of the two Guardians on the second, it's the second boss, the second chapter. And the reason why I would say this one's not a bad one to go for is, to beat this one, you don't actually need to be that much more powerful than you would be at that point. You're 2 chapters in. If you've got a successful run on your hand, you'll be able to beat this. This is a lot more harder a proposition. You need to have a decent build to have a chance of beating this because 5 of those modules, and that means 5 of the 6 are going to be active, which means at least 3 of the 6 nasty ones are going to be available to, or 3 of the 5 nasty ones, or 3 of the 4 nasty ones are nearly always going to be up on you. So we'll go for Battle the Crystal Guardian in the next run. We avoid this like the plague because I like having scrap. We avoid this like the plague because I like shops. And fuck this because I hate those. That can ruin a run from the beginning if you get 2 bad ones. So for me to be able to complete this in the 11 runs of the 11 that we can do, so basically completing it front to back with no deaths, is going to be fucking difficult, especially if that turns out to be fucking nasty, and it probably will be. Rush to the battle, the hypercore. This basically adds a timer to the game. We'll do that when I think I've explained everything well enough. Because that very much, that will probably get me killed because I like to talk. Anyway, so, meta progression. Let's put some more into the iris. Let's get the damage of the blink drives up. Let's get that last waypoint so we can increase our... We can basically drop 5 mines at a time now. Decreased lock-on time, explosion radius and damage by 25 and then 50%. Not bad. Increase ship movement speed by 25%. Fucking essential for the Iris. And then we can increase our shields by 25 and 50%. These are also essential, but we are out of research. It's all gone. I could get some nice colours. Oh, I could get the gilded flare. But we don't want to be going for cosmetics when we're trying to do what we're trying to do. And then let's see if there is a little meta progression that we can buy overall, but I think we might have spent it. Oh, we could get that one. That's good. We could get that one. That's good. I want that, and I want that, but it's well out of our budget now. So I think our best bet is going to be increased scrap when we recycle by 20%. So this means that now when we buy from the shops and recycle, even better. And when we get those level 2 and level 3 modules that are fucking useless, even better. And we can just about afford it. I would have preferred to get those two to increase the percentages of getting those level 2 and 3s. Those are really good to get, but I want to push into the Iris because I know the Iris becomes incredibly powerful when you've got it fully upgraded. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That shall be the Blue Balls bombshell that we shall end it on. This has once again been the fantastic Ghost Signal A Stellaris game. We have been playing natively on the Quest 3. I have been Silver Tongue Devil. Good night.